Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Throwback Thursday. Today, we are revisiting the Game of Thrones living card game, specifically the second edition, even though I think both of us have played way more first edition
Played way
than we
more
did second
way
edition.
more first edition, yeah.
If you're unfamiliar with this game, it originally came out in the 2000s as a CCG and then was converted at some point. So the story goes, from what I've heard, that at some point there really weren't enough people buying it for the collectible model to make sense, because a collectible model needs a ton of people buying it for that engine to go. And so then they were looking at ways, how could they keep making this game, because they had a bunch of fans that loved it and it just didn't quite make sense. So that's when they converted it to an LCG. They had a really weird like conversion point. I think it wasn't even like a core set. It was like they're doing a cycle as non-collectible.
Yeah.
And then after that came a core set, and then they started figuring out the monthly living card game style.
Now, was this the first LCG? Or was that Lord of the Rings?
I think this was technically.
I think it was.
So I think
right?
Lord of the Rings was the first LCG that released explicitly as a living card game.
Okay.
Core set. It was definitely the first cooperative LCG. But Thrones made the transition, I think, in 08 or 09, and then Lord of the Rings came out in like 2010, 2011, roughly.
Yeah.
So the collectible game existed, and then it converted to Game of Thrones First Edition, and it entered our view because of a few reasons. I remember we used to office, my dad had an office in our small town of Chelsea. We had an office in the back of that office. And so when we set up a distribution for the first time, we started getting those like distribution magazines.
Yeah.
And I remember on the back of one of those magazines was a full page ad for this game called Game of Thrones.
And anyone out there who's wondering, magazine advertising, it works. What can I say?
Technically, it wasn't what worked here. So I saw that and I was like, that looks interesting. There's a dragon on this and there's swords, and like this looks cool, like a cool game. And we were actively looking for more games. So like I remember looking
2000s.
at it, and then I remember figuring out like, oh, it's being released as like a living card game. What does this mean? So I was looking into it, and I remember saying back then even, I was like, there's no way we could ever make any money at all off of a living card game. It's not economical, because we started with collectible games. It's what we played growing up. Singles is how we actually started getting customers and making money as a business. And so that was where our mindset was. And I was looking at this and I was like, it's kind of the problems we identified a couple, like in the podcast 5 or 10 episodes ago, about the problems economically speaking with the LCG model, especially as it pertains to getting local stores to be interested. TLDR of that is $15 packs that you make $7 or $8 on as a retailer means that even 20 or 30 customers in your local community is making you a couple $100s a month. That's really hard to pitch against something like Magic the Gathering, when 20 or 30 Magic players equals all the money a local store would need to operate all year long.
$16,000.
Just it's just crazy. But so at the time, didn't really do anything with it. But then I think it was Gen Con 2011.
Also worth noting, not making money off of something has not kept us away from a good many things.
Well, you're about to hear that part of the story.
Yeah.
And Andrew asking if we ever did tokens. We did. I'll show you some of those in a second. But in 2011, we were starting to eye opening our local store, which ended up happening in 2012. And so at Gen Con 2011, I remember walking around the convention hall and seeing this giant, beautiful piece of Lord of the Rings art. And it was something just totally unexpected, because it wasn't like the Middle-earth CCD old school art.
Yeah.
But it also wasn't movie based. And so I was like, what is this? And so I sat down for a demo of the Lord of the Rings LCG, and it was the first cooperative game I was ever interested in. And I was like, this is cool, this is interesting. And then right next to it was Game of Thrones. And so weirdly enough, they actually were sold out of Lord of the Rings LCG core sets, but they had the first couple packs. So I bought the packs just to like see what was on the inside.
The cards. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And I also bought a core set for Game of Thrones, because they actually had the Game of Thrones core set. And then we came back, and then that winter we became obsessed with this game.
Man, yeah, first edition, I lost my mind.
You remember,
I started tracking down packs online, trying to find the key, like you're on Crow's Eye that I wanted, and
like
Robert and I were
the big
like
hosts. You know?
Yeah, the host of X, host of Y. Yeah.
And so I remember like we were playing on the floor of your old house in the winter. It was really cold.
It was very cold in that house.
Speaking of not making money, the heat wasn't on. So we were playing the game. I remember I would come over, because I was working a job at the time, to make money, to pay to open a store.
But a real job.
I remember one day I came over and
paying job.
You were Robert. I think Robert was like, you got to play against Steven's new deck. And I was like, okay. And then I had actually built a new deck as well, which was the Balerion Giant Dragon Stomp deck.
Yeah.
And it was
combo wombo.
It was
garbage.
ludicrous. Yeah. But so we got obsessed. Played after we played the game a little bit. That's when I started reading the books. Just went through those like crazy.
Those early days of Thrones First Edition, us getting into it and kind of finding our feet in that game and starting to consume the card pool and understand what was possible in the game and starting to put some of those ideas together. That may be one of the most. That's probably top 3 most exciting like game discovery periods for me, because you get, and then we were playing some Melee too, and so we were like wheeling and dealing, and you'd get one new pack, and all of a sudden here's like 2 really amazing characters that now you're throwing down on the Melee board, and everyone's like, whoa, what's going on with this? It's like he can't be blocked, he's got to like dominate, intimidate. It's like that whole thing, and trying to find like the Greyjoy deck that I wanted to run. That was so fun. It was so fun. It wasn't really that easy to know what cards were in the packs at that point either. The deck building wasn't available readily.
You could not tell, but you would see a card and you would be like, where did that come from? You'd ask on some forum, and then they would tell you, oh, it's this pack. And also, this is crazy to think about. The early LCG packs for Game of Thrones actually had, I think it was 10 cards that you got 1 copy of, and 10 cards that you got 3 copies of.
Yep.
And the one-ofs weren't like limit 1 per cards either. It was like, this is a really good card you want 3 of, so then it would get you to buy 3 packs. I remember whatever the big Targaryen army was that I wanted.
Yeah, host of the whatever.
Whatever it is. I had to, that was one of the ones I was hunting down, because they would print the same amount of those as everything else, but like people would try to get 3 of that pack. And we eventually got them, but we had years of content to consume, and we were working on the store and stuff. And then I remember, so we opened the store, and this was, Game of Thrones First Edition was easily our biggest and most supportive community during those early years. I mean, it was crazy. We had 25, 30 people every week coming to play Thrones. It was really kind of a magical time. Every pack had cards for every house, so you didn't get a lot, but you got a couple things every pack. And like, there was a lot of house loyalty, so like I played Targaryen mostly, and like, a new crazy Targaryen card would come out, and everyone's like, oh man, we gotta start teching for this Targaryen thing that's gonna come down the pipe.
That was a really killer community game that we were playing at that point.
Yeah.
So it was so awesome. And like, we talk about Ben having his Maester deck forever that would later have 23 ban cards in it or
literally,
whatever it was.
He went months without losing to anybody in the store.
Yeah. Tim Rowe would roll in with his Martell reset deck, and I was like, I hate that this is possible. But I love that I feel like I have tools to do something about it. The Westeros Bleeds deck, yeah, those kinds of moments. The Maester with the chains, and then it became the non-chain Maesters, and then it became the Long Voyage, and the Long Voyage was insane. Everybody's just drawing 3 cards. That game, and then the restricted list would come out, and it'd be like, oh, everything's changed. I can't run this Maester anymore. Like, I can't run the refugees anymore. All this kind of stuff. The whole journey was awesome.
And the restricted list was pretty crazy. It was the first time I'd ever seen anything like it. They basically had a list of cards that you could only run. You could run the standard 3 copies of, but you could only run 1 card from the restricted list. And so they would have big swings where it's like, I remember or the 0-cost characters.
The refugees.
The refugees.
Yeah.
Which is just a staple of pretty much every house. Every house was running this card. And
Max
all
value.
of them added to the list. And so then you had to choose between just like a really good fundamental unit and all of your fanciest, most powerful cards.
Yeah.
And like, in some ways, it's like, it's kind of like a soft ban or restriction on cards because you can't play them together. But I really liked that they were able to kind of just go crazy with some cards.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if it's too much, we'll just put it on the restricted list and it's fine.
It was a great tool. And Netrunner did that to some degree. Arkham's doing a version of it where they're just doing the taboo list. But I think the restricted list worked so well for Thrones, honestly. It worked so well because the vast majority of things that were degenerate in this game revolved around 2 to 3 to 4 cards working together, right? Yeah. So like, if you can get rid of even this agenda and this 1 card working together, then you don't have to worry about banning a card for everybody if they're not using it in the degenerate combo. So I honestly, one of the things that looking back, I wish would have been more prevalent was just more consistent, almost monthly restricted list changes. And just, change the meta, constantly stirring that pot. Because with an LCG, you need an outside force to change the meta because the cards aren't quick enough to do it.
Yeah, that was one thing I was always curious about is like, you obviously have a format where there's a pack coming out every month. So it seems pretty easy to every month have here's the adjustments, here's what's changed, and you could shake it up pretty big every month.
You call that the living card game. It's
and
living,
it's alive.
it changes.
It's completely changing.
So then here's the intro to second edition though. So that was first edition, and first edition kind of, it had all of these cycles that it went through, and a lot of it pulled from the collectible game. And so as you do in a collectible game, every time there's a new set, you're going to introduce some big mechanic to put it on the side of the box and get people stoked about it. And so that had all happened in the early Thrones days, where you'd introduced influence, which was a secondary resource that you used to play like really weird effects, essentially. I mean, just honestly, the most degenerate stuff was all influence based. It was all just like, here's big weird effects.
It was the cost they put on a lot of events.
Yeah.
So like if you were going to surprise your opponent, I mean, I get where they were going with it, but over time, it's a secondary economy to the game, because the game works with gold, but also then influence.
Yeah.
And that is where a lot of the problems ended up being.
So you had the influence, then you had the shadows mechanic, where you could put cards face down and then pay for them, kind of instantly later on and surprise people. You see this in a lot of games that do that face down and then set a trap kind of thing. You remember that Knights of the, what was that called? What was that agenda? It gave you influence and plus gold, but you couldn't set up or something? Knights of the, something of the Knights. So you guys know what I'm talking about. What is it?
No. It's the 2 influence plus 2 gold, right?
Yeah.
I ran that all the time.
What was the downside? There wasn't one. I remember that. I remember every time I sat across from that agenda, I was like, this is going to be awful.
There was definitely a downside.
Knights of the...
I don't think it was Knights.
Horses.
Hollow Hill.
Knights of the Hollow Hill.
Yeah,
Knights of Hollow Hill. KOTH. Yeah, I will never forget that. Tons of bad memories there. But then, so all these mechanics have been introduced, and there's a ton of if you go into the first edition meta, which we had talked about a long time on various just videos and unboxing videos that we've done, is like the weight of this game is immense. And across all of these cards and packs that have been released, it's a crazy burden for somebody to try to get in as a new player. It also has a ton of cards that essentially are doing nothing because they're just underpowered. So across all of that, you're like, here comes second edition. And so they announced second edition, and it's going to be a big deal. And we were supremely amped about it. Yeah. The idea as a store too of like getting an entry point for new players, which we did see. We saw a ton of people get in with that core set and start playing Thrones. But a couple of things they did is they removed influence, they removed shadows, they removed a lot of those things.
And they put a gold cost on a lot of the events.
Put a gold cost on a lot of events. The early economy out of the core box was really strange, I would say. It wasn't quite sufficient enough to really do the things you wanted.
They also pushed the cost curve up.
Yeah, and widened it.
It's kind of what X-Wing ran into early on, which is like, if your key stat is a 1, 2, or 3, that only gives you so many levers, right? So they made it where the really good characters were 7 or 8 gold, instead of those same characters in first edition might have been 4. So you just have like the difference between 1 gold and 2 gold cost is not very much. Yeah. And so they expanded that. Go ahead.
Yeah, but Thrones is also, for those who haven't played it, it's a game that very much lives or dies by the economy. It's similar to drawing land in the right order and stuff in Magic. It very much, you need to find early sources of resources, and if you don't and your opponent does, then you're at a severe disadvantage. And Thrones is also a game that can very easily become insurmountable if somebody gets an early advantage, and then because you can't marshal as many things, they can keep clearing your board as they build theirs bigger. And that's why you introduce a card which is called Valar Morghulis, which this is the strangest. It's like the only game that built in, everybody ran 1 card in their plot deck, which is a deck of 7 cards that essentially set the tone for everybody's turn. Everybody runs a card called Valar Morghulis, which is quite simply clearing the board, kill all characters, right? Very in theme, very thematic for Game of Thrones. But also kind of a question mark, because you got to scratch your head and say, in any other game, if the entire player base was running the same card in every single deck that they were building, what's going on? Like, that has to be a sign of something has gone wrong. But instead, in Thrones, it was just kind of the way it was. And it was necessary because if you did get behind, your opponent getting too far ahead would then overinvest them and you could wipe the board. And so it was this weird dance that always happened in first and second edition once it came out of like Winter Gonna Valor, and then everybody argued in first edition, is it too strong? Does it need to be banned? Whatnot. And weirdly enough, it was the glue that held that whole thing together. Because if you remove Valor, it just is over.
I definitely think if you pull Valor out, it's not the same.
It just didn't function.
Game.
Which was kind of cool.
There's a thematic element to it, right?
Yeah.
It's a very important phrase in the lore. The reality of the whole universe is that characters die. So, I mean, it works in that way. And then also it creates this tension of you want to be ahead, but if you get too far ahead and you have too much of your hand out, then you can just get cleared. So you have to kind of like measure how far ahead you are instead of just like go for it. And I think, the double-edged sword of the way the game functions, and we'll play it and show it, is you have a setup phase too, where you get 8 gold in second edition of stuff in play. And that was similar in first edition, but you get to put those in. And then it's kind of a no recourse situation. So like if I have a really good setup that has economy and you don't, you're already behind. And now my economy leads to me being further ahead, and like it's
in the first turn,
it can landslide pretty quickly. But when we both have similar level of setup, the tension created in this game is actually quite incredible. And I think the 3 challenge icon thing is very unique. You'll see it as we go. But second edition came out in 2015, I think. And Peter was saying that's how he started watching our content, was their second edition coverage.
Cool.
And they definitely, I think initially I thought it was their chance to really, basically go back in and go crazy on how to clean it up and fix it. The game ended up being a lot more similar than I thought it would be. Like all said and done, like in terms of like how different it was, it had a lot of the same issues that I think the first edition had. I will say the art got really good in second edition.
Yeah,
they had a very, like there's the Daenerys, if we'll pull that up, it's like there's a style to it that reminds me of the seriousness of the books. And that carried through on all the cards, and that was really well done. And I think the people that kept playing it loved this game.
Yeah.
That said, if you're wondering why it's not getting printed anymore, there's a couple reasons. Obviously, Thrones of the Show cooled off last year.
Oh my gosh, it didn't cool off. It got put in an ice bucket.
Winds of Winter is frozen somewhere.
It didn't even get put in an ice bucket, Zach. It got put in a freezer box, running full blast and buried in the Arctic. Yeah. I mean, nobody cares about Thrones anymore.
Disappeared.
I've never seen something that was so loved turn radio silent, like in a nobody even talks about it in a fun way like they do the prequels, or complain about it like the sequels in Star Wars. It's like
it's just gone.
DOA. Yeah. We don't even want to relive.
It was literally like a nuclear bomb drop. It's just gone. And I think it's paired with George not putting out Winds of Winter. Like that book was supposed to be out 5 or 6 years ago,
right?
And it didn't, and it's still not out, and who knows? Let alone, I have a bet going with Matt that the last book's never happening. Yeah. If it is happening, it's not George. She's doing it. Yeah. It's just not going to happen. Anyways, so the biggest thing I remember that happened in this game, just for some historical context, was the game came out late 2015, and the excitement at that Gen Con and that winter was high.
Very, very high.
Very high. Yeah. And honestly, for the first 6 to 9 months, I remember I went to, what is the name of the event called in Seattle?
It's the Thrones event?
In May, I went to it was Patrick was putting it on from Uncle's Games.
Ooh.
He since got sold the event to someone else or something. Or it's not him anymore. But it was like a big expo, and they had a Thrones regional, X-Wing regional, and all that kind of stuff. And I played in the Thrones one, and it had 200 people there. It was like a big thing. But I remember very pointedly about that point is when the Lannister
Meta. Yeah, they took over.
They had the first deluxe box set, or Stark, and then Lannister, and they were just really good. And that was the case in May, and they hadn't done a restricted list yet. I think they were trying not to do it. And literally, I remember at Gen Con that August, I talked to a lot of Thrones players, and it was just they had been deflated. Yeah. Because it was we are tired of this. They are not doing anything, and it took them another 3 to 6 months to put out a restricted list past that point.
Yeah.
And by that point, the rest was history.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that it suffered from, and this, I was bewildered a lot because my expectation, and I said as much on many videos, was that this is exactly what the game needs. The things I wasn't accounting for though was I should have accounted for slowness to act. That's a part of the territory with the FFG LCGs. But B, it was I think I underestimated how critical the entirety of the 1.0 card pool and the interest in deck building was that kept that game so fun.
Sure.
Because, like, if I had only had one cycle of 1.0, I think it would have just been like, I don't even want to play this anymore. But the fact that I got in and had 8 cycles waiting for me, that got me, like, firmly rooted in interest when it came to this game. So you have players that have been in that giant pool of cards coming into a core set and then coming into a deluxe box that maybe they have to wait 2 years for their faction to release.
Yeah.
And then the Lannisters just dominating everything for 6 to 8 months.
And not only were they dominating, but then there was a delay in product. Classic.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of a mix of all things, right? Even though they fixed a lot of things, the starting point on it wasn't any easier than any other LCG ever. Like they much later would do, that's actually what we're going to play with today, the intro decks, which is a $15 fully playable deck. And I think that if you would start out with an intro deck for every house, and then I think the 8 releases are 8 months in a row of deluxe boxes. Mm-hmm. You just got to churn, because basically you didn't make it easier for people to get in. Because also new people getting in are playing as people with a lot of Thrones experience.
Yeah.
And so they're just getting smashed.
Yeah.
They have to buy 3 core sets, they have to build their decks, and then they have to get smashed for 6 months. We talked about that with 1.0. Like, I remember Josh Forbes is a really good example.
Game.
Shout out to him also. He put together the, I couldn't find the sealed ones, but the Lannister and Stark decks were in use today that are those same precons, but just built by him. But I remember he went 5 or 6 months barely winning a game.
Yeah.
And he eventually made it.
Yeah,
right. He eventually got there.
You got to get in there.
But it is because we were such a tight knit community, and we played for 2 or 3 years in a row, just a lot. And anyone getting in it was tough. But then also all the old players, just like you were saying, a single core set is way less content, so they start getting bored. You don't have a restrictor list to keep things fresh. You have a delay in product.
It was also the 3 core sets, as Taylor mentioned. It's that 3 core sets nonsense. I had advocated for early on that you do the intro decks. We talked about this on a podcast a long time ago. You do the 3 the intro decks for each house, because obviously you need to do that. That's a lot of cards to try to fit into a core set. But then your deluxes are basically themed after events in the show or something, like Battle of Winterfell or whatever it is. And it gives cards to every faction. You have to have cards, a good amount of cards for your faction to really start enjoying Thrones.
And that's where again, you have a Lannister box come out. And it's well, they just have way more cards. Literally, the Targ box didn't come out until near the end of the game.
Who could have predicted, right?
And as soon as I literally almost couldn't win with Targ, that's when I was gone.
Right, then you go away. Because the faction loyalty is real.
Not long after that, they announced, at that moment, right, that's the Gen Con, they announced Arkham and Destiny.
Yeah.
And so Destiny comes out. How many people left Thrones for Destiny?
Yeah.
And there was something else that came out around that time.
L5R came out at one point.
It was the next year that was L5R.
Because I do remember some people going from Thrones to L5R, and the big concern was oh, now we have 2 half communities, basically. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at some point in that process, they released what we're going to play with today, which are the pre-constructed intro decks. So if you are interested in trying the game, those are really cheap online, and they're available. I'm going to be playing with House Targaryen first. We'll be walking through how to play. Steven, of course, is playing House Greyjoy.
And then we've also got Lannister and Stark in the wings, too.
That's right.
A more traditional spread. So, yeah, so the game itself has incredible mechanics. Say what you will about the balance or the release structure, all these kinds of things, but the idea that you start each round by by secretly determining something that's going to set the tempo for how many resources you get that turn, whether you go first or second, and then how effective your attacks are during that round, that you can have those 3 balance points and then put text on a card that sets exactly what's going to happen this turn. That's a really great mechanic.
Yeah.
That provides a great level of variance, and I don't know what's going to happen and if he's going to flip that plot or that plot before we even get to play cards.
Yeah.
I mean, that's notable.
It sure is.
And then the 3 challenges, you get 1 challenge each. Military challenge, you take characters off the board. Intrigue challenge, you take cards out of hand. Power challenge, the direct win condition, you gain power. And you're trying to get to 15 power to win the game. So the entire kind of mechanical reality of this game is something that's still very notable. I know this is hard to say maybe, but I think in terms of 1v1 card games, it sits in a similar place as a game like Netrunner, where it's unique enough and good enough that you shouldn't just forget about this system. I think the system itself is very unique and very interesting.
Yeah, I could easily see this system getting used either in another IP or even just being rejuvenated at some point. Like you give it enough time and you figure out a new format you want to release it. All right, let me refresh you on how to play. So I have a house card here. You want to give it a top down?
A little PDP.
There it is. Here's my house card, Targaryen. It's got my logo on it. That's where my power will go. Andrew, I think, kept asking if we'd ever done tokens. This is an example of such a token we did. We did one after each, themed after each house. It's a wooden, I don't remember what they were called. House tokens?
Banner tokens.
Banner tokens. Yeah. So we have a few of those here, which we'll be using. But you win the game by getting to 15 power. You get to 15 power, game over immediately. And we'll talk about how to get that in a second. Along with the house card, I have what is called an agenda here. I'm playing the fealty agenda. I think we both are.
Yeah.
And it's something I introduced. Agendas were a big thing in first edition.
Yeah.
But
great mechanic too.
Yeah.
I mean, it revolutionized your deck building.
1.0, this is another big change they did. You could basically play characters from other houses. You just had to pay a tax of 2 extra gold to play them. In 2.0, they actually introduced Banner of Thee. So like you could do Banner of the Stag as your agenda, which let you play Baratheon cards that weren't loyal. So you'll see this little flag on it, and if it's loyal, that means you can't play it even if you have a banner too.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That's interesting.
It has to be. So I have the fealty here. I can't include more than 15 neutral cards in my deck. Action, kneel my faction card to reduce the cost of the next loyal card I marshal or play this phase by 1.
So kneel is tap. Marshal is to play a card. Nothing fancy.
For a minute, we had these two, which are gold by Shire Mint Post. We were
selling those for quite a while.
These are just prize kit Targaryen things that I have from somewhere.
I don't have any fancy Greyjoy stuff.
As it ought to be. Man, we got a wide.
I gave you some good room. Yeah, I figure the boards sometimes in these intro games can get a lot of control.
Well, in Thrones in general.
So I'll be using Stark things with the assumption that the Greyjoys have finally taken over Winterfell, and
they did that at one point.
They did. They had it for a little while.
For a brief moment. So we'll draw 7 cards. So I shuffled up, and I'm going to give them 7. And this game has the least favored mulligan rule, which is shuffle your whole hand back in and draw 7 if you don't like them.
Is Stolic still happening? Is the castle stuff still happening?
I don't know that will ever
that event seemed like that was a big deal. I always kind of wanted to get over and do that, but
it would be pretty sweet. So worth remembering a few things here. I'll show some examples. First, I have Jade Sea Dromond, which is a boat. It has the word limited on it. You can only play 1 limited card per phase or round. And so if you set up with a limited card, you can only play 1 limited card during setup. During setup, you're going to get to play 8 gold worth of stuff. So as an example, that Dromond has a 2 on the top left. That's its gold cost. So when you're looking at your opening hand, ideally you want to spend all 8.
How many cards do you get? 8?
7.
7 cards, 8 gold? Why not just 8 and 8?
Well,
See?
Don't ask me.
Should have been a consultant. All right, where do I want this? Here. Got some glare there. I'm going to get rid of that. Okay. Fealty. So that's a little instant economy. That's not
Felix
bad.
saying 2019 was the last time the tourney of Stolic was held.
Aww.
But I assume it's because 2020.
Right. Pandemics. As you do. Oh, Zach, I don't know if you knew. I saw this back. You're playing against the 2014 regional champion. Game of Thrones. That's me. Atmosphere trophy. If you don't know what happened, strange.
Are you sure that's not mine?
It might be yours, actually.
You remember?
I did have one.
Well, one of my favorite Thrones
I beat the one and only Greg
time.
Atkinson.
That's right.
Remember that?
I
in
do.
The top 8 down in Missouri.
I think you did that like a week or 2 after I won at our store.
That's right.
Because
it's a dunking.
Literally the week before our regional, a pack came out and it had like these Dothraki in it. And I ended up running Dothraki with city plots, which for some reason no one had thought of. And I remember getting to round 5, I think it was, and I was 4-0 playing against my brother Tim. And we just like look at each other after we sit down and start dying laughing. Because neither of us had been playing much Thrones at that point. It had been a year or 2 because like Star Wars LCG had come out, so I've been focused there. And neither of us thought we would win like hardly any games on the day.
Yeah.
And we're sitting in the last round like undefeated. It was very It was something else.
It was fun.
Okay.
How many, what's the mulligan? Do you do a full...
Shuffle it in, draw back up.
Shuffle in, draw back up.
Hope.
I've only got 3 cards here, and none of them have gold on them.
So I have a really good setup. I just have I'll just show you because it doesn't really matter. I have the Jade Sea Drummond, which is 2, but it will give me an extra gold in the first turn. I also have 2 Targaryen Loyalists.
Oh, shut up.
So that's 2 economy cards.
Are you kidding me?
Now, if we pull up Daenerys Targaryen, I'll show you an example
This is the kind of thing that happens in Thrones all the time.
card. So on Daenerys, on the middle right, you'll see the Targaryen logo, but under it is like a white banner. That's a loyal card. That's what you could use this like fealty agenda on. Jason's saying, but how does the game end? 15 power. We'll show you how to get power in a minute. So I technically have that, but then I don't have any great 4-cost characters to pair with it. I do have a Jorah, so this is kind of where I have a choice. I can have an extra one of these out, but then I waste 2 gold. Or instead, I could play a 5-coster, waste 0 gold, and keep these in my hand, which is what I think I'm going to do. I just have to decide what I want to play. So, technically, I wouldn't be showing this all to Steven. You get an awful hand.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. You can play attachments in this one, right? Can you do attachments on setup in this one?
Yeah. That was something you couldn't do in the first edition of the game.
Well, I've got a 6 gold setup.
Also, this game, I have Qotho, Qotho. This is a classic, like if I were, if I had a game design school / class, it's like, basic example is it's got an action printed on it that you can play from your hand, and it's a character. And so it's like events specifically you can play during the middle of a turn, but like a character whose text you can actually reference during the middle of from your hand is very funny.
That is strange. We've learned a lot playing all these throwbacks, honestly.
Yeah. All right, you ready to flip?
Sure.
So normally we do like a row of characters with a row of locations below supports. What'd you get here?
We got Black Wind's Crew with a Corsair's Dirk. So +2 strength, that's a 5 strength Black Wind's Crew now. After you win a challenge in which I am attacking, move 1 gold from yours to mine.
Man, speaking of
that's cool.
Design things, so like it's +2 strength, and you just have to read the text to see that.
Yeah, right.
It's so funny seeing.
You don't have the little +2 up here.
Yeah, even just down here, like where you could just see it.
And then the Iron Islands Market limited. I can kneel it to gain a gold or 2 gold if you have 8 or more cards in your discard pile. So it gets better over time.
Yeah, what you have on the Black Wind's Crew pillage. It's a keyword when you win a challenge with that. I have to discard the top card of my deck.
That's right.
All right, so then you draw back up to 7.
It used to be a style that used to be character and locations only, but 2nd edition you could do attachments, which was weird. Then you draw back up to 7.
Mm-hmm. Some of this art is fantastic. Okay, so then we will have what is called the plot deck. Now, this is the plot phase. You do setup, and then the first phase of every turn is a plot. And this is one of the best parts of this game. You have a 7-card plot deck. And I'll pull one up, the classic, called Retaliation. And I'll just explain some of these stats to you. So the gold on the middle left with a 4 on it, that's how much gold I will get this round. The middle number is the initiative. So that's basically whoever has a higher initiative is going to go first this turn. And then the silver number with a silver behind it is the claim value. So every time you win a challenge, that is how much you're going to claim. And there's a handful of kinds of challenge. If we look at this Black Wind's Crew, there's a red sword icon up top. That means he can do military challenges with that. If we pull up Magister Illyrio, sorry, Bryce, for the gymnastics you're playing with all these cards. But Magister Illyrio, he's got the green icon, that's intrigue. If you win a challenge of that, you discard cards from your opponent's hand. And then blue with a crown is power. If you win that, you steal that power from your opponent. Whatever your claim value is how much of that happens. So you win a military challenge, your opponent has to kill that many characters on the side of the board, whatever your claim value is. Intrigue, discard that many cards from the hand. Power, still that much power. Then you have a text, which is usually like either a resolution or an effect that's happening this round. And they added this in the Game of Thrones 2nd edition, which is in the bottom right, is the reserve value, that 4 that's there on Retaliation. And that's how many cards you can keep at the very end of the turn to go into the next phase. So used to, you could have all the cards in the world and just keep doing your thing. So we each have to choose, and then we reveal simultaneously. So you're figuring out how much gold you want this turn.
Do you have that one that we each discard 1 character? That would be devastating right now.
March to the Wall or something?
Can you imagine? I think it was March to the Wall. Yeah.
I don't.
I hope you don't. But my gosh. This is the kind of setup. You play that card, and I'd probably just lose.
Like, if I had March the Wall right here, it's probably game over.
That's so funny. That also, that kind of made it just made it so intense, and that's why the game was so troubling and addictive, because it was like, you felt like every turn, everything was on the line.
Yeah.
And that's why it could get really intense, too, when you were playing, because, like, people could get pretty into it.
And I think when you win
Myself
initiative,
included.
you actually get to choose who's the first player, right?
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I've got it.
It's interesting because I don't want to.
You guys hear that? Well, Lava, I didn't have a chance. In my second mulligan, I had one character, you know? This is the problem with randomness up front. You guys hear that Taylor Swift dropping that second album today?
Biggest the fact that she's doing 2 albums in 2020, and it's her first like true sequel too.
Do you know how hard it has been for us to not do a podcast about T Swift dropping Folklore? I've been listening to that album. It's in my truck. I love it. It's in my 2003 Toyota Tacoma Extra Cab. Jamming out to Folklore on the daily.
On the daily.
That documentary, fantastic. I should watch that documentary. Anyway, what a just slam dunkaroo on 2020 that she's pulling.
Let's go here. She really is. She's flexing. All right, you ready?
Yep. Noble cause.
What's it say? That's a great plot.
I'm going to de-sleeve over here. We've got lights in different area codes. Reduce the cost of the first lord or lady you marshal by 2. So my lords and ladies, first one's -2.
So it's kind of like 2 bonus gold without really a penalty. Mine is Time of Plenty. Increase the number of cards each player draws in the draw phase by 1.
Oh. Well, I don't mind that.
I mean, either. It's got 6 gold on it is why I did it.
Oh, we had to pay attention to this card limit thing, too. That's called the reserve?
That's how many cards you got to keep after the round's over.
Okay.
So that used to, you could get way ahead in card count, and your opponent didn't have much to do about it. And now there's a limit to how far you can push that. Okay, so if we look, I have 1 initiative to your 0.
You know what? We can match this up if you want to do it like this.
Seems good to me.
That I like. You want to put it plots over here?
A lot of times we do them in between here.
We would, wouldn't we? It's really important. I remember how to play this game. There we go. Make it nice for everybody up there in the ether.
So I have more initiative. I choose who goes first. I will make you go first. Then we will go to the, I think it's called...
Draw, right?
Draw phase, so we each draw 2, but we'll each draw 3 because of Time of Plenty.
Because of your plot.
Yeah, and then we'll go to marshalling phase, so you collect your gold.
All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gold to spend. And then I've also got anything that has a marshalling action on it. I can do that only during the marshalling phase. So if it says, like, challenges action, I can only do it at challenges. It says marshalling action, do it during marshalling. Now, there's an old trick in Thrones where, like, you use your reducers as fast as possible so that your opponent can't do something in the marshalling phase that, like, kills the loyalist, for instance.
Yep.
And you can respond to me. We pass actions back and forth, but only I can spend gold when it's my active marshalling phase.
I don't even have gold yet, I don't think.
Yeah, you got nothing.
But yeah, like if you had something that could kill him, technically you take an action, I take an action. So I would need to use that basically immediately.
All right, so now we've got to make some decisions. So there's one thing I know that I'm doing. I'm going to start by kneeling the Iron Islands market to gain 1 gold. And then you can take a marshalling action, but you can't spend anything or collect yet.
I'm fine.
Okay. Got 6 to spend. All right, well, let's play our friend and favorite, Victarion Greyjoy, for 4. He's got 5 strength. He's got intimidate. That works differently in 2nd edition. Don't you choose a character that can't block instead of nothing can block? Man, I had that Victarion's Raiders, Euron's Raiders deck.
All right, you ready for Intimidate?
That thing was amazing. In 1st edition, you remember that deck? I loved that deck. That was the best thing I've ever done.
Sat him down. Intimidate. After you win a challenge in which you control 1 or more attacking characters with Intimidate, you may choose to kneel a character controlled by the losing opponent with strength equal to or lower than the amount of strength by which you won the challenge. No more than 1 character can be knelt by Intimidate per challenge.
It's way worse.
Yeah.
Is there not a Dominate anymore or anything like that? Wasn't Intimidate used to be nothing could block under their strength value, right? That was when Greyjoy worked.
I thought Intimidate used to be you could just sit someone down who had less strength. So you attack, and if you win, they exhaust. But maybe not.
You couldn't get blocked.
You're the guy.
They couldn't block you. There was a mechanic in 1.0 they just couldn't block. I think it was Intimidate.
Well,
Because I'd buff those neurons or Euron's raiders up.
I like the idea of neurons raiders.
Okay. Wait, is that a loyal card? Let me see. How do I look for that? It's got the little banner on it.
It'll have a banner under this. I can show you one.
Okay.
Like that. Bottom right.
Right on. Shows me Danny. Hey, check this out. Flex on this.
Oh, stealth is what made it where they couldn't block. Remember that?
Stealth. No, you could choose one.
And they can't block with that character.
It was, that's right, Laman. I'm confused. It was Corset Balin. There were characters that literally had that.
That text.
Didn't Euron's Raiders have that? Hold on a second, guys. I just want to look at this card again because I'm in love with it. Euron's Raiders, Thrones first. Would that get me there? I searched like a computer thinks. Euron's Raiders. Yeah, LCG. First LCG. Okay, there they are. Okay, Euron's Enforcers. They said they had Intimidate, +1 strength for each Raider character you control. Intimidate used to be that you couldn't block. I'm certain of it. Believe me. Everybody out there, believe me.
I'm not necessarily refuting you.
Somebody will verify that in the chat, I'm sure. Okay, so then I've got more gold to do stuff with. Oh, here. I'm going to do this too. Reduce the cost of the next loyal card. I'm going to get 1 gold back. Fealty for Victarion, since he is... Wait, he's not. He's not loyal? What is wrong with... How is he not loyal?
Because he's a traitor.
Are you serious?
That just means you can splash him.
Why would you ever let somebody splash Victarion? Yeah, that's right. Broncos is right. Hey, that's...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can see your face.
I can see your face. Why do we ever do this? Minnesota Broncos. First, what's your first name? Had many great conversations. It's got to be the right Minnesota Broncos, right?
It definitely is.
Thrones champion. All right, and then we'll do Sea Tower here. That's a limited card coming in, and it's going to allow me to reduce stuff.
Brandon,
of course.
Brandon?
What's up, Brandon?
Well?
It's great to see you in the chat. Hope life's going well for you. And then, well, do you do this? Do you do this? No, you do this. Acolyte of the Waves. I love this card so much. He's died. You get a power.
Good
He's
art.
died.
Too. All right, mine.
Did I do this yet? Oh wait, hold on. I didn't kneel the thing.
Yeah, what thing?
Whatever. It's fine.
Mine?
Yeah.
All right, I need to get 6 from my plot and 1 from my Jade Seed Romans. I'm going to play Illyria's Estate. It's limited, so I only get 1 of those around.
Mm-hmm. That's what I did.
Exhaust here to make my next Targaryen character -1 this phase. I'll play another one.
No, an absolute classic.
But this is like Valor, right? So like you might kind of want to save 1 because if you play Valor or you clear it, he's gone. He's gone for good.
Greyjoy loves Valor, of course, because they
One,
they can drown themselves into life. Oh, right. That's not a plus golder.
Oh, you could have used that?
That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, you can use it and have 1 gold left because that actually matters these days. At least.
That's true. Yeah, let's do that. Won't use it on the Acolyte and then sit on 1 gold. I like that. Take me to the lakes where all the times.
All right, well, what could go wrong? Let's exhaust here and here for -2, -3. We'll play Daenerys Targaryen. I have 3 left over. She has an insight, so when I win a challenge, I draw a card.
Yeah, my gosh, that ability is bomb.com.
Isn't it crazy how it's all there? Yeah, draw a card. That's as simple as that. Now we have a choice. Because with 2 gold, I can stand.
Unless I steal it from you.
That's right. Well, you don't have any intrigue, so that's nice.
You don't have any swords.
You're right.
You fool. Isn't it 1 cost for that kill the sword card? Kill him by the sword?
What is it called? Put to the sword?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
You don't like kill him by the sword? Not quite as aptly named.
Let's play Viscerin.
Syrian?
Viserion.
You don't remember how to say your dragon names?
Syrian.
Visceray.
Visceray. And I'll keep 1 gold around. This Viserion gives me each Stormring character I control stealth, which is Daenerys, in case you were confused. All right, then I'm going to pass back to you, and we are going to go to the challenges phase. So now Steven gets to initiate 1 of each challenge type, or he can pass, his call, and then I will get to do the same.
When I take an action, kneel this to reduce the cost of the next loyal card. I marshal or play by 1. Just put you on deck. All right, now we get into what's called challenge math. And it's something. So everything's -1 currently, yeah?
Yeah, so Daenerys has while she is standing, each participating character participant on the opponent's side in a challenge against you gets -1 strength. So yes. So and a 0 doesn't do it, like the Acolyte you couldn't just do. And also, it's worth noting, so on the challenges, you get the claim effect of whatever the challenge is, and if it's unopposed, you get a free power. So a lot of times on the first turn, as second player, you will give them some unopposed challenges just so they have some power for you to take. Also, another interesting thing about the game is that you can't just dominate them. You actually have to let them do some stuff in order for them to be effective enough for you to take over.
Well, this is interesting. And so...
Lavin says, save 1 gold for Dracarys, every Targ player ever.
Yeah. Is intimidate... So if I win a challenge with Victarion, I can kneel anything of 4 strength or less? That's not Danny.
And Dracarys is the 1 gold exhausted dragon, -4 dead of 0. Reminder.
Oh, yeah.
Dracarys.
That's a good one. Yeah, yeah. I saw you posted on Facebook that I was going to complain about Burn a lot today.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Yeah, I saw someone comment, and then I responded and said, wait till you hear the diatribe Steven's going to give every time I burn a character.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Hold on a second. We got to really sort through this.
Here we go.
This is real.
It hasn't even happened yet. It's just looming.
How is it fair? How is one faction's play style? You have to commit to your plan, and then I can decide how I want to react to it all the time.
Bryce, can we pull Dracarys?
How do you ever make the wrong decision?
Dracarys.
It makes no sense. It's so like, there's an old line in a song. I don't remember what the song is. Only bet on the horses after they've already come in. That's what Targaryen is. It's like, so let's see everything that's happening, and then let's decide how we want to burn it down so that it doesn't work to our detriment. It's the easiest thing on earth.
So as an example of why that's so powerful, obviously, Steven spent 6 gold on Victarion, who's -1 currently because of Dany. So you're at 4.
Right.
And if you attack with him military right now,
right,
and I burn him down,
right,
that means you lost your 6 gold character and your strength, your military attack, and I basically got to do that with perfect knowledge.
With perfect knowledge.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Perfect knowledge, he says. All right, Victarion's coming in on a power challenge then. He's laughing now. Not even Greyjoy. Everybody should have an issue with this. The heck? You don't have power to take. Just a red herring of a challenge.
Yeah, but you do have...
I do have Intimidate, and I do have Renown. Once I get to 2 power also, I can discard to save it.
What is dead may never die?
Mm-hmm.
Unopposed.
Unopposed?
Get your power.
All right, so things trigger. Let's see. So isn't there an order? You like unopposed.
There's some bread keyword for it. It doesn't matter.
And
you get a power.
Renown.
Then there's reactions to it at some point.
Oh, I feel so gross having this stuff on him. I don't want to put Stark stuff on my...
You can do this.
Do you have any of those dragon tiers still? You still have those anywhere?
I gave them back to their owner.
Dice? Should I use dice?
You can do whatever you want, man. You could use some fancy tokens.
What do we got down here that I can use as
You could use like the gold marble, the gold cosmic tokens.
Oh, here we go. Keyforge Amber.
That's a good thing. Unopposed reactions claim keyword.
The gold ones. I use the gold Keyforge.
Gold for a reason.
Unopposed reaction claim keywords. It's relevant to my interests. All right, so 1 here, 1 power. I think silver might be easier to see. And then unopposed, done. Claim, nothing. You have no power to steal.
That's right.
Reactions, I got them. We do not sow. After you win an unopposed challenge, choose an attachment or location and discard it from play. Controlled by you. You got to cancel. Jade Sea Drone.
Interrupt.
Oh my gosh.
Words are wins.
Everything I hate about games is in Game of Thrones.
0 gold. When the effects of an opponent's event would initiate, that opponent must choose either cancel those effects or I get to draw 2 cards.
What's your reserve value on that plot?
7.
How many cards you got?
5.
Sure,
We're back.
You have 2 cards. I don't care. Get that stupid boat off of. I'm the only person with boats.
This thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're angry at my boat technology.
Ben Clapper is saying he loves cancels, which means that we could never ever be friends.
Precisely.
This is the one test.
Are you gonna trigger your intimidate?
I would like to. I'm gonna trigger it on. Well, Illyrio, you can't stand him, right? You only have 1 gold?
Currently, yeah.
So then you'd choose between one of the... You wouldn't get all 3. Or I could kneel Dragon Man.
That would shut off Dracarys.
And that would shut off...
but if I had Dracarys, I would definitely have used it on that guy.
Yeah, but you also get a military challenge, which is worth something.
That's true.
It's worth not nothing, I guess is a good way to say it.
Probably an unopposed challenge along with the claim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's kneel Vissy.
Viserion. No.
All right.
Visceray.
5 military coming in with Black Wind's crew.
And what's that text say?
I win a challenge, I get a gold from you. And it's +2 strength. 5
You steal a gold from me?
Yeah. I get. Greyjoy get.
So you're technically at 4.
Technically at 4, that's right.
Unopposed.
All right. All right, claim, no wait. Unopposed. Claim. Kill one thing.
I think the old word was duck. You determine the winner, and then you unopposed, then you claim, then you...
Cry with a K. Kill. Cancels.
Maybe it was canceled.
My gold actually isn't spent because of fealty. I knelt fealty earlier.
Keywords.
It is a
Keywords
card.
is the last one.
Keywords, right on. Okay.
Sorry, what's up?
Yeah, so unopposed, you kill 1 because I have a claim value of 1 on my plot.
What were you saying about fealty?
I had knelt this at the start of the turn, and so it reduced the we do not sow to 0.
Okay.
So I still have a gold.
So what's happening now?
You need to claim something. Kill it. It's a military challenge.
Military. Oh, well, sorry, one of these loyalists has got to go.
And then this thing. Move 1 gold from me losing to my gold pool.
I like the clink of that metal.
We take some money.
All right.
All right, yeah, bring it on. Which cards do you want? They're all bad anyway.
Party on, Wayne. Well, we'll start here. Actually, you're a 0, so I'm going to do this first.
That's smart.
Let's go power with a Magister Lirio.
And if I block here, it's still a 0 strength considered unopposed for all intents and purposes.
Yeah,
So,
okay. So I'll steal 1 power.
Okay.
And then it's unopposed.
So the winning the power challenge means Zach gets the claim value of his plot in power from me. So I lose 1 because he's 1 claim. He gains 1 from 1 claim. Then he gains 1 because it's an unopposed challenge. And then any effects that you would do, or
We're good for now.
okay. Oh, pillage! I need to pillage you. Discard the top card of your deck there with that last challenge.
There goes Cerberus and Selmy.
Ooh.
All right. I need to see what I'm doing. I will use an action on Kotho. Action, discard 2 Targaryen cards from my hand to play them from my hand.
Why not give a faction the ability to play everything after your opponent has decided?
Why not, indeed? Let's go military with Kotho.
I gotta play my stuff, and then you're just like, oh, I'll play mine whenever I want.
Whenever
Whenever
I see fit. Kotho's gonna attack for 5 military.
You did it.
Unopposed, claim 1.
Claim 1. It's gonna be the Acolyte. It's gonna give me 1 power for my faction when he's killed. Yeah. And there's a dead pile.
There is a dead pile. What is dead may never die.
What is dead is actually dead in this one.
All right, then Danny's gonna go with the intrigue.
You got me.
Unopposed.
Yeah.
Claim.
And we don't have Valor in the intro decks, right?
I don't know. Keywords, insight, draw a card. Why not?
Because we need to have it. Like already, this needs to get Valor right here. I would valor this right now.
It's a really good example of why Valor is necessary.
Yeah.
End of the round. Then we go to dominance.
Got 2 gold.
I have none, so you get a free power.
You have nobody standing. So strength standing plus gold. So I get 1 power for my trouble here. And I didn't get 1 for my little Acolyte of the Waves either. So I need to do that. Okay, then do we lose this still?
Then taxation. Everything goes away. We check the reserve value, and we get to keep those cards.
How many cards?
I have 5, so I'm fine.
I got 5. You got 5. This would be a good Valor for me.
Everything readies.
5 things on the board. I've got 2. They're pretty good things, though. Disastrous.
Josh, are you saying you didn't build the intro decks? I saw Josh comment, and that made me nervous.
Wait, you got the heat?
No, this is a This is a standard. We might be in for a sweet treat.
Oh, he's saying maybe these aren't the decks I built.
Gotcha.
Or maybe we got some real decks we're about to play.
All right, so then we go back to the plot phase.
That's right. This is great. It's great.
There's a certain amount of pain and suffering that is involved in this game.
It's necessary, really.
It truly is.
It's necessary. All right, hold on a second. How good is this?
I'm changing my mind.
Yeah, I'm on that too.
Wild Bar asking, what's the difference between an LCG and a collectible card game? It's pretty simple. An LCG typically has a monthly release. It's fixed, so you know what's coming in the pack. There's no randomness. There's no hunting. There's no rarity. It's usually $15 a month, and you have everything.
Okay, hold on a second. Just hold on just a little second here. Okay, yeah, we're good.
Ready?
Ready.
What do you got?
I got besieged. 5-6-1.
Because you beat me up so much last round, I have retaliation.
I love that card.
Mine is an 8 initiative, but the text says if I win initiative, I have to choose my opponent to be the first player. So I choose you, but it has 4 gold and 2 claim, which is why it's so good. And what does yours do?
5-6-1. At least one character must be declared as a defender in each challenge if able.
Oh, nice.
Who's laughing now?
Nice. And then we draw 2. And then we're back to town.
Okay.
Oh, wow. They really did some things in this game. Wouldn't you say?
I would say that. All right, mine.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Neil Fealty. Oh, wait, I got to get my gold. All right, so start out, I gain 5 gold. How many cards you got in your discard pile?
5? 1 dead.
Cool.
You need to have 8, right? That's
Yeah,
right,
8's the right number. Let's do -1 for Fealty.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do -1 on the Sea Tower.
Mm-hmm.
Let's play an Iron Victory. It used to be called Longship Iron Victory, and it was the jam. Draw a card after you win a challenge. You remember that? Oh my gosh, that's the only way you could play Greyjoy. Greyjoy used to have 2 cards in the game that basically drew them cards. You had to play them both.
You had to play them both.
What's up, Matt Lay?
I saw someone
See you on
earlier
Facebook
saying
there.
that we were literally the only people not streaming
Cyberpunk
2077 today.
I'm too old for that stuff
and
anymore.
they said, please keep it up.
All right, let's kneel Iron Islands to grab a gold. Iron Islands market. So I'm rolling with 6 gold.
Rolling with the homies.
Let's play a Sea Tower. Another limited card.
Tired of your towers.
Man,
With 2 towers
it's
over
already just too much. How do you do this? This many cards. Pay 1 for a fishmonger. Can kneel. It's like your little Targaryen loyalist.
Mm-hmm. Keith A., quoting you, back in my day, we used ravens to change the weather.
That's exactly right. Oh, man. 1, 2, 5.
Tom Malucci, what's up, man? Saying it's actually crushed this game, especially given what I'm seeing in his hand. Tom got really big into Thrones.
Yeah, he did. He's good at things, too.
He is. Hope you're taking care of that Vader mat. Not jaded.
It's quite funny. It's really funny. All right, what am I missing here? Anything? I've got 2 reducers on the board.
This is definitely I think being so into this when Netrunner came out, I think it made our appreciation for Netrunner even healthier.
Yeah.
Because like in this scenario, you only have how many 4 cards in your hand?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like your setup was dictated to you by what you randomly drew. And then like sometimes you just feel like you don't have options.
I have options. Somebody's gonna feel like I have good options. -2. Pay 2 for a fleet from Pike. No attachments, has pillage. And after a character you control discards a location or attachment with pillage, it gains a challenge icon of my choice till the end of the phase.
That could be intriguing.
Could be good. And then we'll pay 3 more because you got a 2 claim, and I don't want to lose my whole board on another Black Winds crew with pillage.
Wow.
Let's try to dump your deck into your discard pile there.
All right.
Why are the lights so bad right here?
It is really.
Where's that coming from? This one.
Which one?
This one.
Really?
Maybe not.
I don't think so.
No. It's
Where is it coming from?
it could be from behind me.
I think I got it.
It's this one.
It's that one over there. Because we don't normally have board this wide. You know what I mean? You can put them down here with your other
I might turn it down.
All right. Let's see.
Yeah, this is just kind of like a...
I'm going to exhaust Illyrio's estate. And I'm going to play Slaver's Bay Port. Cost me 1. I technically have 4 gold. And then this is limited, so it's my 1 limited. I can kneel it to gain a gold. 2 instead if you have 4 or more characters in your dead pile.
I don't.
Buyer beware.
But I will.
But I will gain 1. And then for my next trick, I would just have to assume you either have what was that other one? You get to keep 3 characters.
Wildfire.
Wow, there it is, Wildfire. So I'm gonna kneel the Targaryen Loyalist to reduce by 1, and play Sir Jorah Mormont for 1. He has Renown. If he has 3 or more Betrayal tokens on him, I have to sacrifice him. Forced Reaction, after I win a challenge in which he participated, put a Betrayal token on. So basically, you can use him twice before he goes away. He's really efficient for his cost.
Interesting.
For 2. Interesting. Cool.
Interesting. Cool.
This is glorious. I'm feeling powerful now. I will pass. And I have 3 gold hanging out. No reason.
Come on.
Smells like a fish fry to me.
All right, Vic's +1 strength because he's got 1 power on him from the Iron Victory. So it's a 5 strength. Watch yourself. I'm going to kneel out Danny.
We'll see about that.
Wellickers. Welly.
Chris Shorter saying, if this game were a reskin, what should it become? What IP would fit? That's a really good question. I think the faction loyalty being is very important to this game. I mean, any classic fantasy setting I think would work. I think you could make it any fantasy setting where you have basically factions or houses vying for control of something.
Okay. Well, the challenge math is interesting.
Is this hidden? It is hidden. Hold
on. Huh.
Please say I may have another.
Okay. All right. Well, you've got to declare a defender in each challenge if able. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Could apply some pressure, for sure.
Pressure.
This is the guy that gains an icon?
Yeah. You'd have to kneel 2 to prevent... Yeah. 4, 6, kneel a dragon. You got these weird 6s. 6 all around, yeah. It's like 4 and 2, and then 4 and 2, or 4 and 2. It's that weird, the 4s and 2s, and I'm over here with 5s.
That's not good battle math.
No. I'm glad you also agree with that.
Here we are. How amazing.
Go big or go home, is that right? All right. Military challenge. 5 strength.
Technically a 4 strength.
Technically a 4 strength, yeah. I might not want to do that.
I'm not asking for any particular reason.
Well, it's just, yeah, you got Danny. We talked about games that add a lot of things you got to keep track of.
We have. I mean, that's what we learned in the throwbacks. That's another thing I'm seeing here, which is like Danny has a static effect that while she's standing, all your stuff's -1. You have an attachment that has a +2 that we don't know. You
Vic's
also have
+2 for every power on him.
Power you get +1 or 2.
+1.
So like, there's a lot of floating information right now. So he's technically a 5 still.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's -1/+1. And this is a 4 because he's -1.
So we can swing for 9. All right, let's do a power challenge for 9.
And I have to block if I can.
You have to block with one thing, yeah.
One thing. I don't know why. It doesn't even... Okay, before I declare blockers, I have an action window.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do what we do. I'm going to play Dracarys for 1. I have to kneel a dragon. Choose kneel a dragon or Daenerys, technically. Choose a participating character until the end of the phase. It gets -4 strength and is killed with 0. So I'll give -4 there. I don't know if Robert's laughing at that. He is. I look over. I can see him through the glass. He's just going. NPE.
-4, and that's a static -4 forever.
For the round.
For the round.
The phase.
All right. We're going to Risen from the Sea. When a Greyjoy character would be killed, save it, attach it, give it +1 strength.
Till when?
Then until it's dead. Then Iron Victory. After a character is saved, it gains 1 power.
Nice. So then it gets a +1 strength as well.
No, that's only for Victarion.
Oh, specifically.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's his ship. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
still a 6 strength challenge coming your way.
And I have to block it.
Block it with at least one thing. Or you block the whole thing.
I will block with Illyrio.
Okay.
So you're going to win currently by 2. Which is, you'd have to kneel something with 2 strength or less on his ability is why I'm doing it. I'm explaining this to you, but
it's by the degree to which you win, or it's his strength?
I think it's the degree to which you win.
What?
What's the ability called?
Intimidate?
After you win a challenge in which, etc., you may choose to kneel a character controlled by losing an opponent with strength equal to or lower than the amount of strength by which you won the challenge.
That's different. Okay. It's not going to be anybody. Resolve?
Yep. You win by 2.
Win by 2.
You steal
so duck.
Unopposed. It was not unopposed.
No.
Claim. You take a power.
Claim. I'm taking a power.
Keywords.
Renown. Intimidate. Nothing. Pillage. Not a location. Reaction. Take 1 gold.
Take a gold, right? Not a power.
I just wanted to give myself 1.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be a quick way to win.
I liked the idea. Okay. That was the first challenge. Now we have a second challenge and a third challenge. Sure. You block with that.
Northern Lights, I think the last thing came out for this game last year. But they also said basically like they would consider making more stuff if books ever came out.
I mean, do you do a challenge? It takes one away from you if I do it. So that's worth doing. Military. 3 strength. You got to block.
Block with 5.
Hold on a second. Back that up. We got better challenge now. Because I'm thinking if you have to block, there's no way I can win this challenge to give him an intrigue icon. So it's pointless to leave him sitting and doing nothing. So I may as well swing with both.
Yep.
Right? If we're academics of the game. So then it's a 4 strength challenge, which means you got to block here instead of getting a free renown. So same difference.
Yep.
You did it.
All right.
You blocked me.
Mine? Cards in hand?
1, but clearly I don't want it because I haven't played it since the beginning of the game.
Jorah will swing military.
It's unopposed.
Unopposed. Keywords. 2 claim.
Do you keep the fishmonger? I mean, is it really... I don't have enough cards for economy to matter, I'd imagine. I've got a ton of economy, so... let's go here and here. Yeah, it's just a better version. Right?
Okay.
So kill these two.
All right, and then Renown and a Betrayal.
Hmm.
Then Danny will swing Power Challenge.
You got it.
2 claim.
2 off of my house card.
Unopposed. Keywords. Draw a card.
Insight.
Wow.
Insight. Foresight. More sight. The clock on the wall brings a quarter past midnight.
Fantastic.
I
Okay.
don't like anything the Targaryen does.
And then that's the end of the phase for me.
Dominique?
So I have 1 gold.
1 gold.
Tied.
Push.
End of the round.
Yeah.
I have a reserve of 4, so I have to discard a card.
All right. That's the Greyjoy Intrigue Challenge at work. Just waiting.
That's so good, actually. Hurts me how good it was.
Thank you. Thank you.
I should have, in retrospect, by the way, blocked with Illyrio. It was just silliness on my part. Then I had 2 gold because you were going to steal a gold, pay 2 to ready him, so I don't have any gold to steal.
You can use actions between the declaration and the... Yeah.
Because like Dracarys is an action.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
What
a fool.
Yeah. I realized as soon as you stole one, I didn't even know it was happening, but you stole one. I was like, that seems like it would have been good to do.
You didn't remember the 7,000 paragraphs on the board?
Sure did. But it's okay.
I mean, obviously, right?
Toast, these are the intro decks. What do you got?
I got Wildfire.
Summons.
What does that do?
I get to search the top 10 cards in my deck for a character. Put it in my hand.
Okay, that is a good card. I've got the initiative, so do I want to go first? Yeah. I always want to go first, right? I'm the Greyjoys.
You do want to go first, yeah.
All
right. I'm definitely losing the Loyalist.
So Wildfire Assault. This is a big plot for the game. So everybody chooses 3 and kills the rest. Obviously, I only have 3 characters, so I'm just getting Zach to get rid of 3 things, which is good.
Yeah, because I don't want to.
Value. How about that Viserion?
Who are you making first, technically?
I'm first.
Which plot is resolving first?
Oh.
Yours, probably.
Mine? I mean, you search your deck for a character.
If I knew what I was going to get,
yeah.
it would change what I do. So I assume you would
do
that. Danny's not going. I think I'm going to get rid of Jorah. He's only got 1 more challenge.
Yeah. Get that green bubble out of here.
All right, then I'll trigger my plot.
I remember I whiffed on this before.
You definitely can.
And it's just like, how is this possible?
This is anything but a whiff.
Oh, great. What changed? What would you guys in chat? So I know, I would say a good amount of the first edition audience or the second edition audience came from first edition. What do you guys think is your assessment of second edition? I always felt like something was missing, and I don't know if it was just the card pool was too small, or was it the fact that it revolved maybe too much around the big characters? I can't put my finger on exactly what was going on with the game. But did it feel like the same game? Was it the same Game of Thrones, a better version of Game of Thrones, or was it lacking in some way? It's the question for the ages. They didn't have Valor for a while, I remember.
I'm going to get Khal Drogo. Yeah, Valor wasn't out at first. Yeah, it came in decently later. Don't worry about him.
It's good.
Khal Drogo?
Yeah. No.
All right, then we go to the draw phase.
Yeah.
You said you're going first?
Yes. Cool. Wow. I'm on the hope and draw.
Yeah, you're on the top deck.
Just
playing
horrid
here.
Oh my gosh, I love it. You got 8 cards in your discard pile, though, right? Didn't we get there?
8.
Nice.
Precisely.
All right, let's start with Iron Island's market to gain 2. So much gold. Let's, okay, and it has to have the icon. Why did they put the icon in a different place on all of these cards? So it has to have this banner, not just the icon.
It's under the logo, no matter where the logo's at. Yeah.
So like this doesn't count, but that does. Right?
Yes. How many deck characters you got? 3?
Yeah.
I came up 1 short.
Just the perfect number of.
Yeah.
All right. -1, -1, -1. So -3. We'll spend 2 gold on Newt the Barber. He's not here for haircuts, ladies and gentlemen. He's barbering in a different way. Taking my Ikes.
Oh, you give me a discarded card and you get a card.
Corpse Lake for 2.
Come on.
Discard a character from your deck, it gains a power. 3 times per round. This is an engine right here. And then pay 1 for a King's Road, some more econ.
Nathan with a big answer to your question. He says, it felt like the game was mostly there, but I was not a fan of the reserve value, limiting hand size, and too much focus on the big characters completely dominating games ruined it for me. Also, many of the cards that you could tell were directly taken from first edition were nerfed way too hard.
Okay, fair. Yeah, there was something like that. It felt that way. It's really interesting because on paper it seemed like that was the right thing to be doing, but it just didn't. It didn't quite work. Very strange.
You ready?
Sure.
Gain a gold.
Also, I'm doing. You've never seen this trick. It's an absolute classic. It's the Greyjoy intrigue defense. Just not having a hand.
That's one way to get around it.
It's the only way the Greyjoys know how to do it. I play from the top of my deck only.
Let's exhaust this to play a Targaryen Loyalist. Let's exhaust the Targaryen Loyalist. And this here, fealty.
Mm-hmm.
-2. Is that right? Yeah.
Fabio saying 2.0 is better, but definitely in the last cycles, the designers were short of ideas. Many were draw and stand effects. Yeah, Dan, I need Asha, but if you don't draw it, you don't draw it, right? Isn't that funny?
I'm going to play Khal Drogo for 4. Khal Drogo.
Keith A. saying overall it was a great game, didn't have the support.
Before I do that, backing way up.
Chris Shorter came in on 2nd edition, was super thankful for the reset. No way I wanted to buy into that massive 1.0 card pool. Yeah, that part of it was right.
1 for Great Hall. Then I'll kneel Great Hall here and here. -4. It's like I figured it out when I was waiting on you, and then by the time I was actually executing my plan, I forgot how I did it. But now we're there.
What did you do? How many things did you play?
I played Great Hall. Use that to reduce a 6 cost or more character by 2. So 2, 3, 4, Khal Drogo for 2. I have 2 left over, and we're going into the...
And you get two military if you want it?
If I have the standing icons to do it, yeah. This isn't... Is this the... Do I still have to block if I have to?
No.
That was the plot?
Yeah.
All right.
So, I mean, how many burn events do you have in your hand? Would you say it's less than 2 or greater than 2? Okay.
It's
cool.
Some number. Cool. It's not 2. I'll tell you that, it's not 2. I'll let you figure out if it's 0, 1, or 3. Sean asking, when did we check out of 2.0? I think it was literally...
pretty early for me.
It was about a year in. When the Lannister box had come out and the meta was stale and they had unrestricted. But that's also when they announced Destiny, which meant my attention went straight.
When was Netrunner and all of that? About this?
Netrunner ended in 2016? 2017.
So Netrunner was still in its prime when Thrones was hitting?
Netrunner did the reboot, the revised core, after Thrones came out.
Okay. I was kind of out of games there for a little while. And then Destiny. I got into Destiny there early. And
that's also when Arkham came out.
Okay. I'm with this. All right, so do I just swing with everything and hope that you can't burn it all?
Northern Lights, how many cards was it? 4 cards? 4 copies or 3? I think it was 3. I think you run 3 of any card in your deck.
You're not so hot on your military challenges there, buddy.
You're not wrong.
Okay. All right. I get this. I get this.
That's funny. Apparently, the Targaryen deck has 2 restricted cards in it.
6, 11. All right. What does 11 look like?
Yeah, Sean, I mean, we were pumped for 2.0. We were starting to kind of change our content model, how we were doing it. Back before really 2015, we would extensively cover every game that we supported, but it just wasn't working. It wasn't economical for us to keep doing that. So we did a huge push up front, a lot of intro content, helping people get into the game. But at the time, that's when we were really only covering 1 game at a time, because that's all we were really capable of. It wasn't actually until this year when the pandemic hit and we switched to 5 days a week of streaming that we were covering more than 1 game at a time. Even like last year, around August, we started covering Marvel Champions, and we did that exclusively all the way up to the pandemic. Couple random streams here and there, but not nearly as heavy.
Okay, we've got this.
I feel like you're doing all right.
All right, let's do... No, I just don't know. You know, I'm going to commit some stuff, and then we'll see what you want the strengths to be. I'm going to do... 11 strength. Power challenge.
So it's 3, 4, 5, 6.
Mm-hmm.
Minus 1 is 5.
Mm-hmm. And he's +1 for every power.
10,
minus
11,
1
12,
for damage.
minus 1, 11. So you're 11.
Mm-hmm.
And then your triggers are Pillage, Intimidate, Renown,
Gold Steely.
and Steal a Gold.
And because of that particular fact, let's throw another one in there.
Okay. So now you're at
14.
14.
14. Coming for all the power.
All right, well, let's play this card. You've fallen for my trap. Consuming Flames, 2 cost. Let's just use it. Discard another Targaryen card from my hand. Choose a participating character.
Newt.
Until the end of the phase, that character gets -3 strength and is killed if their strength is 0.
He's killed.
Bye, Felicia.
Congratulations.
All right. So now you're back at 11.
Mm-hmm.
Power.
11 power.
I don't like that. You're going to kneel something. There's really no stopping it. I think I just allow it.
Yeah, unopposed. That was my card draw.
This is military or power?
Power. Newt was my card draw, Zach. That was the only chance I had.
I'm sorry.
This is how I play Thrones with Zach, by the way. It's just insufferable.
This is Thrones. That's just how it goes.
It's just, you just gotta get in,
yeah.
you gotta make it. It's an aggressive game, really.
Unopposed. Yeah, it's very viscerally aggressive.
Unopposed?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well,
Sean saying he did remember meeting you at 2015 Worlds and you mentioning the content rework. Ultimately, he does like the live stuff more.
oh, good. Well, that kind of
2020 was Revolution, yeah.
yeah, that kind of was a pandemic when it was anyway.
Galactus, Season 8 in card form.
All right. So first, we're going to do Duck. Dominance. What is D?
Determine the winner.
Okay, it's me.
You won. Then it's unopposed.
Unopposed. 1 for unopposed.
Then it's claim.
Claim. 1 from you, 1 to me.
Then it's keywords.
Keywords. Renown. Trigger. Intimidate. Khal Drogo. Pillage. Top of the thing. What do you got?
Viserys.
Trigger Corpse Lake. After a character is discarded from an opponent's deck, gain a power.
That's why I was having trouble pronouncing Viserion earlier. Because Viserys. Visceron. I was trying to say Viserys.
Yeah, I don't even. Is it Viserys or Viserys? Viserys?
Viserys.
We didn't discard a location or attachment, right?
No, it was character.
Doesn't matter anyway. Pillage can't steal a gold. Okay, we're done. That challenge is resolved. We did it. Well, gosh darn firefighters here. 2 strength power military challenge. You can see that, of course, you can block with either 2 strength or not at all. Another genius move from the Greyjoys. The tactical masterminds of Westeros.
Unopposed.
Exactly.
You win.
Duck.
Unopposed.
Unopposed.
I actually think reactions are after unopposed, but it doesn't matter.
Claim.
1.
Yeah, I see a loyalist. Who's loyal now?
He was loyal to the end.
And then pillage. Keyword. What is it? An event. Location or attachment. Dang, that's the one I don't get a trigger off of.
No triggers here. You
Okay.
triggered?
Yes. I'm triggering myself.
All right, mine?
Yes.
Cards in hand?
None.
Classic.
The Greyjoy Intrigue Defense.
Well, let's go military.
Military. Stallheart, I disagree with you. There's no point in trying to defend against this. I don't have anything that can defend. What are you doing, military?
Yeah. Sean, speaking of 2015 Worlds, Robert was also there. Where has he been these days? He had some great zingers. He's usually just over managing the team that gets all the orders out the door every day.
All right, claim. I'm going to claim Victarion. And then interrupt. When you be killed, discard 2 power, save him.
Unopposed first, and then...
Iron Victory. After a Greyjoy character is saved, it gains a power.
Peter's saying, I miss Robert. We might have to convince him to come on camera at some point. He's saying, let's start rumors about what happened to Robert.
Got a Victarion engine going.
Right. So you have to discard 2 power, right?
Yeah, but then I gain 1 back. Iron Victory. When I'm saved, the character gains a power. So 1 power off of Vic, and you get 1 back.
All right.
2 off and 1 back.
Let's go power challenge with Illyrio.
Unopposed.
Unopposed, 1 claim.
Wow.
Let's go intrigue challenge with Daenerys.
You got it. You got me.
Unopposed. You have no cards in hand. Insight. Why not? Draw some cards.
Get those cards.
That's what I really needed. Then end of phase. You get dominance.
Dominance 1.
Greyjoy doing their thing. Ready.
I'm 9 power. You're at 10 power?
Yep.
Oh, well, we've got it going here, don't we? We've got...
Is it a power on that thing?
Yeah. Better get rid of it. Well, yeah, we can do more cameos, Chris, once everybody doesn't have this plague.
Plagues are a problem.
Plagues are a problem. Throne's appropriate comment.
Oh, no. I made a mistake.
What'd you do?
Don't worry about it. So much to remember in this game.
Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, it's tough because if you're good at it, you're really good at it.
I agree.
We should know.
All right, I'm ready.
What are you doing?
Power behind the throne.
Oh, that was a good one. I remember that being good.
When revealed, place a stand token on it. I can discard this as an action to ready a character.
Okay.
What's yours?
And I've got counting coppers. When revealed, draw 3 cards.
Oh, hello there.
And it's a 3 initiative.
Who's first?
I feel like I should go first. Trigger, intimidate, and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Draw 3, and then draw 2 for the draw phase.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay. I've got all these cards now. Mm-hmm. What's your plot? How many cards you got in your hand there?
5.
All right, what am I working with here? Let's grab some gold. Take an action to gain 2 gold.
Good dunk.
It feels good, doesn't it?
I'm gonna do the same thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, it didn't exactly do that well, but perhaps we can do it now. 1, 2. And
90s MTG, yes, it has been canceled. Lobin saying Steven's about to make a comeback, methinks.
yeah, watch out. Here comes the pain. Yeah, 5 gold there. Okay, well, maybe this is not the right thing to do. This is up to you. Okay.
Cryoshark saying, excited to see Game of Thrones. Guys, thanks to you, I've been getting to know so many games. It's been great for my relationship. The girlfriend and I have been diving deep into Game of Thrones LCG, having such a blast together. Big thanks.
Beautiful.
That's awesome.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, I'm going to pay 2 for a shipwright. You need to pay attention because I can take an action. Can I do this immediately? No, my action is to marshal something and you can respond with an action. So I can kneel a 3-cost or lower location with an action. So if you want to take an action to kneel something that you don't want knelt, it's all yours. Should have done that first, but I'm not worried.
Let's go -1 to the next Targaryen card.
So you're not playing a unique character? Certainly not a 6-cost or higher, huh? Well, we're going to kneel that thing over there because
yeah, why not?
Yeah, you can do that.
Finally got an entry icon on the board, and you just go kneeling it.
That's right.
Dan Solo saying, man, I got my wife to play the Nightmare Before Christmas CCG. Thanks to you guys.
That's awesome.
That's phenomenal.
All right, then let's pay...
Visceray.
Let's pay 2 for Assault Wife. I can sacrifice and choose someone that you can't defend with.
Wow. If you have the right combo stuff going on, that could be bad. I have to block. You choose who I can't block
the
with.
cards I draw. All right, then here we go. Fealty. Double Sea Tower. King's Road for -3. Your favorite and mine. Here comes Balin Greyjoy. He's got Renown and he's got Old Intimidate. Anything lower than his strength can't defend him.
Well, they can. They just don't count.
That's right.
All right.
Game without Valor. It's a lot different. That's me.
That's it?
That's it.
All right. So I got -1.
Do I have cards in here that pump him up?
I'll pay 2 for Rhaegal.
Oh, cool. You mean Regal?
Rhaegal.
They always told us it was Regal on our videos.
No way.
Like he's a golden dragon, right? Regal, like.
I get it, but he's named after Rhaegar. So.
You could have used that Great Hall on him, but I knelt
It's the same
it.
difference.
He was laughing now.
I can only kneel 1. You got to pick. Then we'll play a duplicate on Rhaegal. That's actually interesting.
Come on.
So duplicates, when a character would die, you can actually discard a duplicate instead. Classic old rule. Then I will pass and hold 3 gold. No particular reasons. All right, so I just can't let you get to 15. That's the moral of the story.
You love to see it.
Yeah. Direby Dragons. Hold on, I gotta do the appropriate thing here.
You got that stand token too.
I sure do.
I mean, how much power can you churn out here? You're at 10, 11, 12, 13 for unopposed, 14 for a power challenge, 15 for dominance. Is that how we did the math back in the game?
Technically, if I win 2 challenges with Drogo, I'll get double.
Yeah, like the stand. Oh, yeah. And then what is this one? What does that say?
After I win a challenge in which a Stormborn character is participating, this is Rhaegal, choose and stand a Stormborn character, limit once per phase.
So you get
she
double
can swing
Dany?
Twice, yeah.
Everything's standing.
I do not kneel.
It's outstanding.
I do not kneel.
I need one of those events that kills things.
Put to the sword. That's what it was called.
That's right. Yeah. All right, what am I at? I'm at 5, 6, 7, 8. I could go to 9, 10. If I hit a pillage, 11 for Corpse Lake. And if I hit another pillage, could go to 12 for Corpse Lake. That's it. That's my best bet. But, you know, blocking Targaryen is a complete waste of time.
As we've seen.
It's a complete waste of time. If you don't have
I feel like you have such like PTSD from getting burned.
I hate Targaryen. I hate it. I've always hated it. I hate it forever. But I have PTSD about everything. Like that stupid deck that Matt had. That Baratheon deck. And he had that stuff that saved things forever. Like what was the was it host of the Robert's host or whatever where you couldn't do power challenges? Yeah. He locked the game out somehow every time, and I could not get through it, and it drove me insane.
Yeah.
I had to have 3 cancels at the right time
to get
and
through.
I had to cancel his. It was where you put a thing back in your hand that was about to die.
Yeah.
Whatever that thing was.
Yeah, I remember that. I also remember your winter deck, which was very frustrating.
Oh, the choke deck was
like,
awful.
Hey, you don't get to play the game.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Have fun. At least Burn gives you the illusion of playing the game.
Yeah, that's right. Isn't it fun losing?
You get to play slowly? The character. I'd kill it, but you get to play it.
But you know,
the winter deck was just like, you don't get anything. See you, Dan.
Okay.
Kyle said, but need a deck list for Matt's stupid deck. It was first edition. If he's on chat or if he's around at any point, we can probably figure that out.
Okay, I'm with this. Okay, so we need to swing a big power challenge here. After you win a challenge, okay. And you've got 5. I'm not going to do the math exactly. I'm just going to swing. This. You could always stand Danny with a stand token. Dang it. There's no limit on it? It's just anything?
Anything. I also have to pay 2 gold and do it.
Yeah. Wait, that's any character?
Yeah.
I thought that was just Magister Illyrio.
No. I've stand for days.
There's no way to get. There's no way to.
Targaryen does not kneel.
There's no way to do this. There's no way to do this, man. I'm just gonna lose already. Okay. So
it's actually a really close game. I'm glad that's the case.
It is pretty close. I think I've got to do some blockies. Just get some things up to block. I think that's right. Okay, so this thing can't defend, that thing can't defend.
Worth pointing out, too, that Danny has stealth.
Why?
Because of this dragon. I haven't had to use it because you've just been exhausted the whole time.
Right.
But that's why, like, saving stuff to block was such a bad plan, too, because, like, I had a way around it.
You got 1,000 burn ways to burn out.
Yeah, if I burn one character and stealth another, you're just out.
So I have to have two characters of a single icon standing to oppose a challenge from Danny.
Yeah.
This one doesn't count because it's 0.
Well, if she attacks, though, it would count.
It would count.
It goes away.
Okay, yeah.
Unless I stand her.
Right.
Which I have 2 ways to do it.
Right.
So
it's 1,000 ways to stand.
Just buyer beware.
All right. Well, let's hope you don't have any burn. Right?
One way to look at it.
Let's hope you don't have any burn. Usually you don't. So. Balin is going to attack. I know this is happening. It's one thing that's happening now. He may have some friends. So it's a 4-strength Balin Greyjoy, which means that...
I was saying he def has burn.
Oh, of course. Only these 3 can block. Okay.
I'll make it easier for you visually.
If I do a military challenge and I Khal Drogo with Saltwife, get distracted.
Then I can't block.
Then you can't block that challenge.
Unopposed, renown.
Unopposed, renown, military challenge.
Now you could throw in Vic and make me kneel something.
It literally won't matter. It literally won't matter.
That gets you to 12, though. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Whew, we're on the razor's edge here.
But then you win. I think then you win is the problem.
Excellent, excellent.
So you can get close, but get close and lose the game is not how I'm into it.
It's better than not being close, I suppose.
It is better.
But not losing is the best of the options.
That's right.
I always felt so often in Thrones, that's part of what made it feel so intense, is like, it was literally figuring out turns how not to lose.
Yeah.
It's not about trying to figure out how to win. It was like, how do I just even make it to the next turn? And you keep doing that, and eventually you win.
Eventually you win.
Or you die. It's a Game of Thrones.
Okay, let's just try this. I don't know if this is ever really going to work.
Are you taking this action first?
Yes. All right. Challenge action. Cal can't defend for the rest of time. For the rest of this
you have
phase.
to exhaust her or discard her?
Sacrifice her. She's gone.
Is the idea that you basically are distracting me with her?
I think so. I don't know.
But she dies, so like I don't know what happens there.
Maybe she's the sacrifice for the drowned god.
That's
kind of a Cthulhian thing.
I'm into it. Okay, so I can't block with Khal Drogo, and if I block with anything else that has a military icon, it won't count my strength.
Now the only exception is if you lower his strength.
That would be an
which
exception.
Would be something, wouldn't it?
Like if I had a Dracarys, I could exhaust a dragon and
which is
destroy him.
But that's all right.
Okay, I will not block unopposed.
All right. One for unopposed.
Mm-hmm.
One for renown. And then I'll play. Just kidding.
Is it military?
Yeah, it's military. Claim something.
Extra copy of Rhaegal.
Yeah, I know that was devastating to your case. Is intimidate only when I'm attacking?
Yes.
Okay. So now, since Cal still can't block.
He can't block for the round.
Yeah. I could do a power challenge, and I think I need to. But that's when it all goes sideways.
What up, Tom McCall? Asking if these starter decks, if one's easier to play than the other. I think they're all relatively easy. If you like Thrones and you have a couple favorite houses, it's a really great way to try out the game. It's super cheap and easy to do. Stahl saying Stark and Lannister are good to start with.
Okay. All right, then we're gonna do a power challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Big one. I only kind of did the math on this, so just consider it kind of math. All right, Cal can't block. You know what? Let's just
keep the salt wife around. Okay, so
there was an old game, this old video game called Hogs of War, and it was basically, it's insane that I remember this. It was basically Worms. You remember the game Worms, where you shoot?
Yeah, definitely.
And try. So it was that, but in 3D, where you'd run around and you were pigs instead of worms, and it was on the N64. And there was a medic. Oh my gosh! And there was this medic that Jonathan always played, and he would go around and he would heal your other pigs, and you would be so close to killing him, and then his medic would run up there and go, hoo, and they'd be like +20, +20, +20, and your entire turn would be a waste of time. Yeah.
The other night, I bought a house earlier this year. The other night, it was probably 10 o'clock at night, and it's pitch black out, and you look in the backyard and it's dark, and then all of a sudden you just hear. It's like, whoa, what happened? It was an owl.
An owl.
And
Larry King.
I heard owls were good luck. I don't know, or bad luck.
They're one of them.
They're one of them.
Like most birds, yeah.
If something happens to me, it was the owl. Okay, can't block with Khal Drogo. You're at
6 plus 5, so 11 straight.
This is classic. This is from 2003, which is Victarion has -1 from Dany while she's standing, but +2 from this thing. So he's 6.
+2.
You have to do that in your brain all the time.
Black Winds is 3 +2 from the attachment, +1 from the Drowned God, -1 from Dany. So it's currently at 5.
So you're 11.
So you're at 11. And a lot of times you would just lose Thrones because you did the math wrong.
Sometimes I would just give up on the board. That's why I liked Burn. You could keep the boards at 2 or 3 characters.
That's actually true.
And it was really scrappy.
That's actually true.
But we're on the precipice of too much. But some games will be double this.
Yeah. So here's why the math is as it is, by the way. I went to 11 knowing that even if you put all 3 of your characters in, you can't defeat the challenge. But if you have a minus power thing, then you could stop me. But as long as I can get 1 power, I'm pretty certain you can't win. But, I don't know that for sure. I guess Drogo on Dumbledore now might get you there.
Yeah.
But I can block one of them.
Unless I stealth you.
Well, but you can't stealth with a military challenge. So you'd have to be on. Well, yeah, you could get there.
Well,
maybe. I don't know. We'll see. That's the fun of it, right?
Let's
take a look. Let's find out what happens. It's Westeros, man. Woo!
so you're at 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Still at 11.
You would be at 12.
13 if the pillage hits a character.
14 if that hits a character.
14 if this, no, yeah, 14 if this hits a character.
So I really need a block, because if you also get unopposed, that could be game. If you pillage a character off the top of the deck.
I suppose that's true.
Your face. I had no idea this is what it was. Well, you know, and you got to do what you got to do. I'm gonna leave my dragons around because they're just too precious to me.
Precious.
You
didn't fall for my distraction. I was trying to distract you so you wouldn't.
I'm gonna block with Illyrio. Yeah, it's really easy to accidentally lose at Thrones. I've done that so many times.
Good. First with Baratheon, they're like, well, they're at 6 power. This is probably fine. Then they're like,
game. Yeah.
Power.
All right. First thing, determine the winner.
I'm determining me.
Second thing, unopposed, not happening.
Wait, we have reactions during the D step. After you win a challenge.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, the D is the first step.
Oh, determine.
Determine is when reactions
Okay.
happen. I need 1 gold from you. Wait, I want my gold. Although I like the idea of taking it from you.
Yeah.
Okay, then It's not you, not unopposed.
Then
we claim 1 power to me, 1 power off of you, and then we keyword 1 renown for Vic. Let's go ahead and just hit the pillage, see what happens.
Location?
Okay. I'm going to give this thing a challenge icon of my choice, an intrigue icon.
I'm going to guess, and we'll just remember that in our brain.
We have these handy little tokens there. And then we're going to intimidate something that is 7 strength or less.
Anything.
So you can stand everything. What's the best thing to kneel right now? Danny? So then you stand token Danny. No, you Illyrio Danny. Attack with Danny. Stand her again. Attack with Danny. Attack with Drogo. Stand.
Whatever
attack with
you
Drogo. It doesn't
kneel,
matter.
I can stand.
Danny then.
So this at least shuts off the -1 for now.
Yeah. Okay. So then, you know, I guess the question here becomes Fleet from Pike on an intrigue challenge? You've only got 1 thing that can block it, and it would lose. So I would again risk getting an unopposed power and winning. What am I at? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Unopposed plus pillage could do it. That gets 1 more thing down.
I cannot give you unopposed. This is, sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
This is the way.
Or...
But if you attack with it, then you're just opening the gate for me.
Do I leave it? Well, because you're going to stealth it twice with Danny double Danny, double dog Danny. And then I'm going to block 1 Khal Drogo challenge.
Shadow Clan asking, when are we going to play Destiny? About a week ago.
Approximately 1 week ago. Let's see your actual math. 3 unopposed challenges, but 4 because you can do an additional. Oh, no. 6? How much you got over there? 9. 6 plus 9 is 15. You have to do another power challenge. There's no way. There's no way.
Once you remember the cow can go twice, it's like, oh, this is just a problem.
Yeah, right. So,
but it's like if you don't swing with stuff, then I have like if you don't win that power challenge as an example.
That's right.
It is bad.
All right. Well, you can. Let's just make it close. Intrigue challenge. I just want to see another pillage.
Block with. Well, hold on. I'll take an action. We're gonna stand Danny, and then I'll block with Rhaegal. So I'm 3 to your 2 right now.
Yeah. Oh, right on. You did it.
All right.
You crushed it.
Then we'll just walk it out.
Yeah, just do it
because we can
do it.
Khal Drogo will do a military challenge.
Completed.
Unopposed and renowned. What to the dead may never die.
Yeah, I mean we could lose some power to try to win some power. Sure. I'll save Vic there.
Okay. I'm gonna do an intrigue challenge with Danny, stealthing this thing.
You did it.
Unopposed. Discard a card. Insight.
It was Alanis. She got way worse.
I win by 5.
What?
This is what I forgot to do last time.
What's a 5 win? And what does that mean?
I get to do this.
Look through your whole deck?
Nope. Play my freedmen from the discard pile.
Oh my gosh, they had from the discard pile text too. These are the intro decks. What were they thinking?
Then I'll trigger Rhaegal's response. So I ready, Danny.
What did Malichi said? There was a lot of missed reactions.
Then I'll do a power challenge.
We're not here for you, okay?
Stealthing this thing.
You did it.
Claim 1, unopposed, insight. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, Regal's supposed to stand.
No. Danny stood.
Danny stands.
Anyways.
Tom, learn the game already.
Then I'll use my power behind the throne to ready Khal Drogo, and he'll go for a military.
You did it.
Unopposed, renowned, I win.
It was good.
That was good. That was close.
It's a good game. It's a good game. It's a good game. It's a good game. How do you keep it smaller? You just put a battlefield limit like Ashes or something?
That's interesting.
I don't know. But that's kind of the point, is you just kind of let it get big and weird and crazy and terrifying. All the weird stuff. It has to get overwhelming. That's the whole point of Thrones.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice that not every... I'm going to put these Targaryen stuff away. It's nice that not every game does this, but some of the games feel like those big battles in Thrones.
Yeah.
Where it's just like chaos. Yeah. And who knows who's going to live.
And then somebody plays that put to the sword, and then it's like, no, he killed my big thing. Yeah. I definitely needed some of that action, because I was able to get challenges through. I just wasn't able to make them matter.
Yeah. And no Valor is relevant. Man,
Atlantis Greyjoy got way worse. That was awful. She used to be the number one. She was my number one, man. I had that Greyjoy intrigue deck. Whew. What's this thing. Deck? I think that looks like me. Looks like mine. Yeah, those are mine.
I think it was for that Greyjoy deck that you were leaving.
Okay. Now let's play something we're not familiar with.
Yep. Let's round this out. I'm going to play Lannister. With fealty.
And I'll do Stark.
I have a fancy card. Josh, thanks for putting these together if you're watching.
Joshua Forbes,
I assume these are intro decks, but I did never hear back from Josh in the chat, so who's to say, really?
I've got empty sleeves over here, too, so all bets are off for me. I think there's some things supposed to be in here. Stark fealty. No, these look normal.
Josh says you're welcome. I think these are the intro decks. Right, Josh? Well, hopefully I didn't get lost in translation.
Oh, no. These look like real decks, man. I've got 3 of on a lot of stuff.
There were 3 ofs in the intros.
Okay. You getting a consistent random over there?
Yeah. I'm doing the map.
Are you... Yeah, so do you go ahead and set them up into locations, events,
I separate them, and then that way they're randomized, but they're consistently in the order I want them in. Hope you're doing well, Matt. That's still one of my favorite moments of all time.
You talked to Matt recently?
I talk to him frequently.
He's kind of a social guy, so I imagine the
pandemic
lockdown kind of hurt.
Not his
hurt especially.
Yeah. It's not his forte.
They got a lot more wolves than you used to see in first edition.
Look at these sleeves, by the way.
Does that even mean something? Is that a statement?
No, in the show. When Cersei had to do in the Walk of Shame, the nun-looking lady is behind her. It's shame.
I get it. Okay. All right.
I'm playing Lannister, so
I don't remember. What was that show like, even in the early days? Back before the 8th season.
When people cared about it.
I think I stopped watching like episode 2 on season 8, and then I saw the finale just because I was curious, and it was like, well, clearly this is just heading for. It's not heading anywhere good.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah. It was written in the same room as The Rise of Skywalker. The garbage can.
What's the Sesame Street, the Oscar the Grouch? Yeah. Oscar wrote both of those.
I feel like we should have known. I mean, 2019 queued it up with Thrones, and
yeah, we
it was all downhill after Marvel.
Yeah,
like it literally, Endgame came out. It's like, this is great.
Yeah. 2019 was the year of having it too good,
yeah,
and taking not appreciating how good we had it. The Star Wars writers didn't appreciate how good they had it. The Thrones writers didn't realize how good they had it. So they made garbage.
Josh keeps saying you're welcome, but he doesn't tell me if it's the intro deck or not.
Yeah, he refuses to say, doesn't he?
Well, if we don't have some of the cards, we'll know why.
He's really a stealthy silence. Yeah, so if there's things we can't look up, then... The things we can't show on the screen, rather, it's because we only got the intro decks.
Galactus, good point, Sam. But we did get Mandalorian in 2019.
That's true.
That's hard. I forget that was when that started.
Isn't it true? Isn't it true that Favreau is just crushing it on all fronts? Didn't he do Iron Man as well?
Yeah, and Elf.
Hey, you know what's awful? I haven't seen Elf, and I know that's not surprising. I know it's not surprising at all. But you know what else blew my mind?
Josh saying they're the intro decks.
Okay,
We have
great, Josh.
achieved
Thank
victory.
You know what's truly insane? So check this out. There's a lot of famous people in Elf. Well, I had an artist that I absolutely adored and still do. His name is Leon Redbone. He died in 2019. Old, kind of very strange guy, very strange personality, but had a beautiful kind of singing voice and approach, and did a lot of old standards. Discovered him in college. Had a good friend who was like into the offbeat stuff, and he was listed top of the bill when I was looking at it on Amazon because we were going to watch it, and we didn't. And it said starring Leon Redbone, and it blew me like.
In Elf?
Yes, and apparently he's the voice of the singing snowman or something like that. And Shannon was like, "That's
Frosty the Snowman?
That's like 3 seconds of the movie." It's
Frosty rolls in.
Yeah. So that's the voice of Leon Redbone, one of my absolute favorite artists ever to live on Earth.
Yeah, it also had Peter Dinklage before he was Tyrion Lannister.
Mm-hmm.
Way back. It has Zooey Deschanel.
Yeah, killer. None of them were like Leon Redbone was listed over those people.
Well, also back when it was done, like Zoe was nobody.
Right.
And I think Peter Dinklage had some credits, but obviously he became something else entirely when he started as Tyrion Lannister.
If you've never listened to Leon Redbone, you need to.
Bradley's saying Elf needs to be in your collection of 6 DVDs you take to your new house.
We got more than 6.
It's on the internet though. It's on all the services, the streaming.
Oh.
It's just a good old holiday classic.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll definitely watch. That's something I want to watch. I'll watch that. I'll watch Nightmare Before Christmas. We'll make I'm about to be off work for a while.
Yeah,
so
Christmas
I'll
viewing.
Bring some culture back to the stream.
I appreciate that.
Or bring myself
I'll watch the
as a
Taylor Swift
cultured
documentary, and of course I'll listen to the new album.
Please
I cannot
do,
believe
yes.
she's dropping a new album.
I'm gonna stay up tonight. Wait for it. Wait for it to drop.
That's what I did last time. Midnight to 1 o'clock. Listen to the album.
I didn't go that far into it, but I can't blame you. It was worth it ultimately. Hope it's got Bon Iver all over it again.
He has another song in there.
Old Nan is here. Can you set up dupes in this one?
Yeah,
you can.
You can. They changed the script on that one.
We have 8 gold. Oh, these are some of my favorite cards. I remember those Tolly decks. That thing was awesome. Well, Zach, I have no economy, so you got a mulligan, right?
Meanwhile,
why is this game so great and awful at the same time?
Can you hand me the Lannister pack of goods? You have it over there?
Yeah.
Got to get my villain on.
Nathan, she's a national treasure, okay?
I don't need a check.
Listen to Taylor Swift. Listen to Garth Brooks. Come on, Garth Brooks is a national treasure as well.
Have you seen the documentary on Netflix about him?
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet, but I want to.
Why are you not watching the documentaries of the things that you like more than me?
I don't know.
And yet here I am, watching them.
It's because you're a documentary guy.
It's true. I love documentaries.
I didn't grow up like that.
I watch them all. I especially love documentaries about like cults. I love cult documentaries. Oh my gosh. That Vow recently, that Nexium one. I made a great Nexium joke in the Discord, which may be in bad taste, but it was funny, and nobody said a word about it.
It's kind of like me on stream. You say jokes, and I just keep going.
That's right.
Can't buy a bucket.
Is it me or is it the audience?
Someone on Community, which if you didn't know is our texting platform we use, but on Community texted and said that one of their favorite parts of the streams is you making dad jokes and me being unfazed.
Well, we don't have British accents. It's the best we can do.
We do have dad jokes, though, apparently.
We've got dad jokes, yeah.
Cryo-Shark Melee is free-for-all up to 4 players.
And basically, it's just a game of talk to your neighbors and try to not lose.
It's actually a game that is easily capable of costing you a friendship.
Yeah. Also, quite a good format, honestly.
Ask Matt. Again, I have a lot of Matt examples here.
What's Matt up to? Oh, man. Don't look at these cards, but can you hand me the one under your chair there? Don't slide.
Oh, man.
It's Josh's cards. Thank you. Good.
Yeah, the Melee format almost broke our friendship once. It was not pretty.
Did you betray him? Seems like you would. That seems like exactly what would happen.
Because
I know exactly how that would go. If it's you and Tim, I know exactly how it's going to go. If it's you and Matt, I think I know exactly how it's going to go too. He would trust you, and then you would win the game and backstab him. And then you'd say, it's the way the game goes. And he'd like, it's more than the game. It's about who you are as a person. It's about ethics. It's a good dude. Okay, I get 8 or 7? 8?
7. You get 8 gold, 7 cards.
Yeah, so 8 gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Tom McCall wants someone to do a bad lip reading of us, but in English accents. Flavio saying Melee is up to 6 players? What? That game would never end. Or it would end in flames quickly.
Okay, so I can either play 6 or... So I'm going to play 3 cards or 2 cards.
Brandon asking, you guys ever think you'll stream Lord of the Rings LCG? We definitely will. It's on the list. It's just tougher because like it is naturally a campaign slash series of quests kind of game. And it's probably the kind of game we would actually only stream one time. And there are some scenarios that are more one of to play. But that's on the short list. And I have some friends that have the whole collection. So it'll happen at some point.
Okay, well, I hope you don't have that March to the Wall card, because this is how Thrones works. It's fine, actually. I'll just do it like that. My gosh. I hate setup. I hate it.
Eddard. Lannisport Merchant ×2. And Sir Joffrey Baratheon, the hero of the series. And a Lannisport. After I win an intrigue challenge, I get to draw a card.
So you're going to start with 2 extra gold, and I've got Eddard out. I get it.
Let's see what old Eddie does. Renown, after a challenge is initiated against you, stand him. Wow.
Yeah, he's going to block. I assure you.
That's also the coolest looking Eddard I've ever seen. Looks more like Aragorn. Rickon Stark. Interrupt when the effects of a triggered ability with the word search in it would initiate. Sacrifice Rickon to cancel. The fact that this card exists is a hilarious block of text in my brain.
It's fine.
It specifically interrupts canceled triggers with the word search in them.
Yeah.
Can't find me. That's the theme there. I get it. All right, let me draw back up. Looking for Cersei because she's how you win games.
Yeah.
Especially against Eddard.
Are you playing that faction that's good at getting golden cards? Can't imagine how that would work.
I wonder why that's so good. What? Why does that exist?
I have the hatred for Thrones that you can only have when you love something. You know what I mean?
Hard.
You know exactly what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is like...
All right, to the plots, to the plots.
To the plots. House Stark.
Wow. What? That's hilarious. And ridiculous.
Should I go get a direwolf?
Oh my. Oh, that's the one I'm playing. I got it. I'm back. Look who's back. Andre, that's actually the scenario we were looking at. There's one called Murder at the Prancing Pony, and you're trying to solve it, which I thought would be a hilarious thing to do.
Be fun. All right, I need to get some things out. Hold on a second.
Toast saying the Stark intro deck should beat the Lannister deck.
Yeah, it's got synergies though, and I'm not really hip to those.
So this is a hilarious interaction. You ready for this? James says, I keep asking for more games on stream, but what I really want is for them to go back to running the shop. Then
Aw.
Stahl says, they still run the shop. Apparently, Robert's chained to a wall in the basement, filling up boxes with orders. CD Mina asking, not sure if we watch basketball. What are our thoughts on Billy Donovan? Bulls fan asking here. I'm actually a fan of the Bulls. I haven't followed it since the pandemic really started. The season went crazy. But I will look at that, and you can chat with me about it at some point in the next week or two. When did it happen? I really haven't been paying attention for the last month.
Okay, hold on. I'm almost here.
Mm-hmm.
Almost got it. Weird. Ah.
Shame.
Okay, I honestly, man, I just don't have any idea. All right, here we go.
What do you got?
Calling the banners.
Noble Cause. You've seen it. You love it. What's that let you do?
I get 3 gold because you have 3 characters.
Oh, I have that card.
Yeah, you're about to have 20.
You have initiative, so I'll wait till you get back and hang out. You're good. I'm just going to talk about the Bulls while you're gone. Toast saying that what's weird is I think there are a few of any search effects in these intro decks. I think the plots have a lot of them, like summons. I played that last round. Stahl saying this is not the Stark intro deck, by the way. Really? That's interesting. Northern Light Zach, I started playing Heroic 1 challenges going through Rise Red Skull Villains. So far, I think, or I have beaten Crossbones and Absorb Man with Cap Marvel Protection. Yeah, she's good. You playing True Solo? Jason saying, which of these throwbacks have been your favorite and least favorite, and why? Favorite throwback. Favorite throwback to a game I hadn't previously played is probably Middle Earth CCG. That's a game I think I'll play for a long time. I'm really, that game just super appeals to me. Least favorite. What was my least favorite? What was the one game that I'll have to look at the list. There was one game where it was like, it was just hurting my brain. It was just a lot going on, and I was happy when it was done. There was only really, I think, one of those games. Still saying the Stark intro deck has Wolves of the North added, while this one has Core Ned. So this might be the decks that are in the like deluxe recommended. I'm curious. Call of Cthulhu LCG is on the list.
You want to go for?
No, I'm right.
You guys want to listen to me chew?
Here we are. You think we can hear that?
Mm-hmm. It's an unsettling sound. Okay. I did this.
Nathan, it's the Miller CCG from Iron Crown Enterprises, not the Decipher one. I played that game, so I wasn't surprised by it. I knew what I was getting into. Played it as a kid.
I'm choosing you as first player.
Okay.
Because of that.
Trigger your plot.
Gain 1 gold for each player you control.
You got it.
Each
Draw
character
phase.
you control. Oh, there's some economy. A lot of synergy. A lot of wolf stuff. Oh, don't forget fealty.
Yes, indeed.
I've been forgetting it very, very much.
Much forgetting.
What's my 6 on it?
All right, minus 10.
Working on your hand there.
Remember doing this?
I do. Yeah, like mathing it out.
Mm-hmm.
Play a Heart Tree Grove, 0 cost limited.
Did
Neil.
you say I was going first?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes, yes, I did. Let's pay 2 for a golden tooth. I can kneel it to gain a gold. 3 instead if you have no cards in your hand. So watch out. I'm going to get a gold. We're back to 4. Then I'm going to play... he's a lord, so he's -2. I'm going to make him -2 more. Tyrion Lannister. Why not, right?
Oh my god. I forgot how good he is.
Tyrion? Oh my god.
I hated that card. We all hated that card.
Yep. Fealty.
It was everywhere.
2 for Grand Maester Pycelle. He has insight, so why not? That's my turn.
Okay.
Yeah, that Tyrion is a gangster. Chris, you're right. We never really covered the Call of Cthulhu LCG. I bought the core set at one point, played a handful of games, and then didn't touch it again. Oh, you know, Nathan, that one didn't hurt my brain as much. Again, I played that as a kid, so that wasn't the game. Do you remember? Someone asked earlier while you were gone. Favorite and least favorite throwback we've done this year.
I love that BattleTech CCG.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
There's some really good ones. BattleTech was one of them. 7th Sea was another one I was really fond of. Just very fun from the beginning. There was one though I was saying that like it hurt my brain, and by the time we finished, I was happy it was done. I don't remember what game that was though.
There was a really troubling one. It wasn't Raw Deal, was it?
I don't think so. Friday I could at least see to the end of the tunnel, but there was one where I was just like, oh my goodness, my brain.
Well, I feel like I need to use my fealty this turn.
Max value.
All right, I'm gonna pay 1 to freeze your Lannisport solid. It's blanked. Who's laughing now?
That's literally what that was built for.
Yeah.
Son of a gun.
-1.
Fell for your trap card.
Spin 1, yeah. You fool, you should have never played it, then it wouldn't have gotten frozen. See how that works? Not really a trap so much as. And then,
Vampire wasn't that awful. I don't feel like that one hurt me. There's a lot going on to learn how to do, but I didn't feel that bad about it. I actually picked up, they released this year, like literally a month ago, the 5th edition of that game. And I grabbed the core so I could check it out.
Well.
You can't use fealty on the wolf because it doesn't have a loyalty icon.
Intimidate, is that only when you're attacking?
I'll tell you.
Probably, right? You can't. Can you intimidate as a defender?
Yeah, only when you're attacking.
Okay. We made the decision.
I mean, I just read it.
Okay, I don't like this any more than most of the people playing or watching me play are gonna like this, but
excellent.
Here we go. Well, no attachments. Nymeria, what are you doing?
Dreadnought. No, it wasn't Star Wars CCG. That was before we even called it a throwback. He said that was an interesting one, but Death Star Run is just a book on a card. So, yeah, Tom saying, "Oh man, I thought it was unique, not loyal. It's been so long since I've played fealty."
Okay, well then the next thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna do Grey Wind with 4 gold and fealty.
Look at all this wolf action.
Yeah, dude, I got wolves. I got wolves in
Kneel
different
Grey
area
Wind to choose and kill a character with strength 1 or lower. Oh no.
Oh yes.
While you control Reconstruct +2 against military. What? Okay.
Yeah, so let's keep track of things.
All right.
Military icon here and +2 strength. Just remember it.
All right. You can put a die on them.
I want you to remember it, Zach. Do
My
you want the
brain.
plus or do you want the total? 3 strength. I made that decision.
Thanks. All right. Well, do an intrigue challenge. I get 2 gold. Tyrion. Why not?
I thought it had to be him. I can't block it. It's unopposed.
Reaction. Wait. Decide winner.
D.
Do I react to the determination of the winner?
Yes, it's in the D phase.
All right, I win.
D reaction.
Tears of Lys. After I win, it costs 1. After I win an intrigue challenge as the attacking player, place a poison token on a character.
Keep reading.
At the end of the phase, if that character still has the poison token, remove it and kill that character. Max 1 per challenge. I poisoned Eddard Stark. Classic.
No, you didn't. The pack survives. When the effects of an opponent's event would initiate, sacrifice a direwolf card or kneel 2 Starks to cancel those effects.
Cancel it.
Kneeling both. How's that for poison?
And then I discard a card. And it's unopposed.
Overpower? Is that the hard one?
I feel like by the end of Overpower, I finally was like, I get it.
There was text
Was it
everywhere on
versus?
one game. It was versus.
It may have been versus.
I think it was. There was just text everywhere.
Yeah. I think
DBZ
so.
also had a lot of text going on. The Dragon Ball, what have yous. It had like the 7 forms out, and we were like, eh.
Yeah. All right. Let's think about this.
Buy, buy, sell.
Let's go power challenge with Joffrey. Joffrey?
You got shenanigans?
Who's to say, really?
That's weird. Okay, so then that's the last challenge you would get, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So then Eddard wouldn't stand, which means I wouldn't get to do a power challenge back to you. What's he at? 4 there on Tyrion? I don't think I can block.
I don't think so either.
No, yeah.
All right. Pass.
Military. 4 strength.
Unopposed.
Unopposed. D. Me. C. You. Keywords.
Bryce is just like, what is happening?
Intimidate. Is that be less strength or equal or less?
Equal or less?
All right. Neil Tyrion. He's intimidated by this gray wind, which fits.
He was terrified.
It's about the right height for that to be really scary. Power challenge. Eddard.
Unopposed.
D. U. C. K.
All right. Dominance. I have 1.
You got it.
Thank you, Tyrion.
He just wins dominance constantly.
He's got the money.
Well, you see, if you have the money, you pretty much get it done.
There it is. I couldn't find my plot deck.
What's your next plot going to be?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Wasn't there a card that let you look at what a plot your opponent did and then switch it if you wanted? They revealed one at random. There was a card that allowed you to make your opponent reveal a plot at random.
That sounds familiar.
And sometimes it was hilarious. But a true Thrones player would never play it because you have to have guarantees.
Yeah.
Why would this long winter card? I guess 4 gold 2 claim is the point. I don't have that. Don't worry about it. What is there a reason the Starks just hate gold? Was that in the canon?
I mean, they're not exactly good at economics. They're just hardy.
How dare you?
It could have been radio. I mean, it wasn't. It didn't hurt my brain as much as it was just impossible to understand.
Okay, I'm with this. Let's go.
Ready?
Yeah.
Gossip and lies.
Storm of Swords.
S words.
Who wins the tie? Power?
I don't know.
Does initiative tie go to power?
Less power, more power.
Thrones would never reward less power. Thrones as a game only ever rewards you for doing well. They do not have a catch-up mechanic at all. It's like if you're dominating, then you're better. What is this? Each character not you control does not kneel when declared as an attacker in the first intrigue challenge. So you get a...
The player with the highest total initiative wins. The tiebreaker is the player with the lowest power total.
Are you serious?
Yeah. If it was highest, you could just push through to win.
Well, that's how Thrones works, though.
Well, here we are.
All right, so you get the tie. Do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Yeah. Draw?
Yes. And I get to do 2 military challenges, so... I need max value. This is ridiculous.
All right, so I get 3 gold.
Value, Lebowski.
I'll exhaust this to get a 4th gold.
If you ever are going to search your deck, let me know ahead of time so I can Rickon.
Noted.
Do you think that in the grand scheme of Game of Thrones, it was worth all of the boring Bran scenes to get to his conclusion?
No. He can die in a pit. All right. Let's exhaust. I have strong feelings about season 8. Fealty. I'll pay 1 for Casterly Rock. I can initiate an additional intrigue challenge during the challenges phase.
Cool. I'd like to freeze that one too.
I'm sure you would. Let's play a Rose Road. Let's
All the money in Casterly Rock.
exhaust here.
Yeah, Jason, there was a lot of heat coming from Zach on that one.
Sir Gregor's Marauders.
Why did I tell us you really feel about Bran?
Yeah,
For all I care.
I mean, it was just bad. It was a lot of time to spend on something to just end so poorly. Imagine if Star Wars ended poorly. It'd be horrible.
Can you imagine?
40 years out the window.
It already did with episode 6. It had to do it literally every trilogy.
Dude, in comparison, 6 is spotless.
It's still pretty boring.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad, but I'm saying it's still pretty boring.
The beginning and the end were great.
Yeah.
Just the middle that struggles.
Just the story. All right, so you're saying I've only got 3 gold and I can
But,
reduce something well.
if the story at least ends well, it's something.
Not wrong. Okay, all right. I can get a military icon. I can get a military
Jason,
icon.
quoting the show, says, "And who has a better story than Bran the Broken?" Ends quotes, and then in all caps, every single person at that meeting.
All right, this is a bad play. Fealty, Heart Tree Grove, pay 1. Here comes Summer. Vote for Summer. But I can't trigger the reaction because I don't have any characters of strength 2 or lower in my discard or dead pile. Kind of play I hate. Pay 2, Gates of Winterfell. Challenges action, kneel. Draw the top card if it's a start card.
Right.
Otherwise, put it back or whatever.
Party on.
You stay now, yeah.
All right. Mine?
Yeah. And then the first intrigue challenge, you don't kneel anything, right?
Right.
So you push them all.
These 3, and
Yeah,
I'll
that
stealth
works.
Eddard, I guess.
All right, it's so unopposed. You're winning in the courts.
Unopposed. I get 2 gold from Tyrion. Pillage. Well, we'll do unopposed. Claim. Claim first.
Did you get your D's done?
Yeah.
It's hilarious to say.
Then
I'm glad you just
keywords. Insight on Pycelle. Pillage on Sir Gregor's.
Oh, that's really handy. It wouldn't have drawn with my Gates of Winterfell. Thanks for clearing that off the top.
You're welcome,
buddy.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Look how terrifying Shaggy Dog looks.
Thanks a lot.
You ever feel that way?
Yeah.
We'll do an intrigue with Pycelle.
Hold on a second. I can fix this. Give me
The
just a second.
shine?
Yeah,
All
I'm
right,
gonna fix
I'm
this.
hanging out.
Down with the shine, as the Avery brothers always said. I'll be right here, hurting myself.
What up, Andrew? Yeah, we're playing Lannister versus Stark.
All right, tell me when that player goes away.
All right. Camera's shaking.
Not at all. Right?
No
All
movement.
right, so it is not officially not this light.
How is that?
Isn't that weird how light works? It doesn't make any sense.
It's this light.
How is that possible?
I don't know, man.
Coming out the back of a light?
It's definitely that light.
Okay, hold on. We can fix that.
I think it just needs to point. Yeah.
This light?
Look.
Oh my gosh.
So you just tilt a little.
If I point it up, hopefully we don't lose something of value.
Like, hopefully you don't hurt yourself. That would be gone.
That good?
I think so.
Yeah?
Background's still pretty lit.
That background is lit, bro.
Lit.
Okay, let's do that there.
Jordan, is there an earthquake happening in Tulsa?
He did it, ladies and gentlemen. He did it.
Pycelle's doing an intrigue challenge.
A second one?
Yeah, I get to because of Casterly Rock.
Well, you still don't see any green icons, do you? I don't either.
Unopposed. Discard. Insight. What do I do with all my cards?
Anything you want. Why do I play the houses that literally have nothing in the way of hands? You're done with intrigue challenges, right?
Yeah. Power challenge.
For 3?
Mm-hmm.
All right, what a fool. That can't be right. Block him with Eddard.
All right, you win the challenge.
Right now.
Pass.
Ooh, Eddard down.
Eddard down.
I got power to protect here. All right, I'm going to trigger Gates of Winterfell here. Kneel it, reveal the top card. Not a start card, so I don't get to draw that. Oh, return it face down to the top of your deck. Okay. Rose Road coming up.
Great.
Got
exciting,
the heat.
Yeah.
Watch out. Okay.
Oh, wait.
Twice per round. Cool. That's great. Very nice. You don't have any burn, though, yeah?
That's not the house I'm playing. Nope.
All right. Let's swing for 7. No,
Military.
wait. Hold on. We got better moves here. Way better moves. Why do you give the Intimidate Wolf the also kill ability? Why not both? I want both. Okay, so 3, 3, and 3 is enough to be blocked by a 4. That is just aggravating.
Chris Shorter. Stark needs to be doing more killing.
Yeah, my one card. All right, so basically I get 2 military challenges, or I get 1 military challenge, 1 guaranteed kill, and then the second military challenge gets punted. Is pillage only as the attacker?
Yeah.
And you got 4 gold. I'm not winning dominance.
You have a lot of strength standing.
Yeah.
You're currently winning dominance.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I just take dominance. Yeah, this is what I do. And then you got 1 gold. I would have... Okay. All right. Hold on. Kill there.
That's a good joke, Northern. Starks are not ahead of the game. He got bedded out. He got beheaded.
LOL.
That's what said Lannister has less hands. But like good jokes coming in there, chat.
Okay. Then. Okay.
This makes me aggressive.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm just trying to figure this out.
Like, why am I being so aggressive right now?
I don't understand. It's just the right amount of not enough. Because of that stupid Marauders. I want to be able to kill 2 things and then also the merchant. And it's so close to happening. Am I missing anything? Do I get any +2 somewhere? Anything on the board here?
Brian asking, anyone here play the Dune CCG? I looked at getting some, but it is crazy expensive. And me saying that, I feel like I spent some money on some dead games, and that is like beyond.
Let me tell you.
Let me tell you.
I don't know what kind of events you have either. So I should probably do safe things.
Lannister pays his debts.
This is, if you have something to prevent this,
it's really bad.
It's very bad for me.
Well, just pray for rain.
That's what I'm doing. Praying for rain. Grey wind, 4 strength challenge, military coming your way. I get 2 of them.
Block for 4.
Okay. Great. Oh, wait. Hold on. Take that back. Intimidate doesn't work like I thought it did again. I have to win by the amount to intimidate something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, Zach. Zach.
Por qué?
Is he intimidating or not?
Well, if you don't win by very much, it's not that intimidating.
About what happens, you know? It's about... All right, then we'll do plan B. Plan B is Grey Wind. Kill Lannisport Merchant with challenges action.
He gone. Some would say he was built for dying.
Then, doesn't really matter who it is. Let's send them all. I can't win to save my life. Military.
Block here.
You did it. Oh, wait, yeah. Well. Here. I get 2. I forgot I get 2. You block this one.
Block here.
And then we'll send this one in, and now it'll be unopposed. So that's at least 1 more power.
This one gives a 2 characters and a power is pretty good. Yeah, better than dominance. Then I gain 1 from dominance.
Mm-hmm. All these wolves.
All my gold. So this is actually the trifecta of Lannister, which is why they're so good so early. They have the best economy, the best card draw, and they have the best way to discard your opponent's hand. So there comes a point where you're top decking. Look at me. I have to discard a card.
Mm-hmm.
You're top decking. I have a flush hand, and I'm going to keep the pressure on your hand, and I'm going to have more money and cards in
forever.
It's like it's
till the end of the game.
So good luck.
Other than that, though,
it's great.
Yeah, card check. We actually have tried Mage Wars. That's the one where you have the little book of your spells, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. How about Mage Knight? That was a good time.
It's a great game.
Do you remember us playing Epic Duels? That was this year.
I don't.
That was our first or second throwback. It was really early.
Okay. Let's go here.
Wildfire Assault. Tyrion Special.
March to the wall. So I'm going to trigger...
Well, who's going first?
Me is first, so I can trigger the plots.
Mm-hmm.
Right? March to the wall first.
What's it say?
Discard a character he or she controls. Everybody.
The offer is made for killing.
Mhm.
Then wildfire triggers, and everyone with more than 3 characters, we choose 3 characters and then kill the rest.
Kill the rest.
I'll choose these 2. How thematic.
Shaggy Dog is gone. 3. Brand start, yeah, so gain insight. That's better. I happen to draw on a brand. Okay, and then I guess I'm going first, so we're drawing 2 cards.
Sam saying one day he hopes we get a 3rd person on stream to play Babylon 5 CCG. Yeah, once the pandemic's over, you never know what's going to happen on the old streamerone.
Gaining 4 gold. Playing a Rose Road. Kneeling a Heart Tree Grove for a Winterfell Steward. And then paying 3 for Osha. She's an expert in workplace safety.
That's very clever.
Thanks.
She's cool.
She's got the little, hey, how are you thing.
All right. Mine?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you fell for my trap. Golden Tooth. Kneel Golden Tooth, gain a gold. 3 instead of your opponent has no cards in their hand.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that, huh? Just hold the steward? I don't know.
Plus I get the bonus. Yeah, just 8 gold.
It doesn't even matter. At a certain point, Lannister just plays everything in their hand that they want, right?
I don't disagree with you. Let's play a Lannisport Merchant because money is good. Let's exhaust him to play a Lannisport Guard for 1. We each draw a card.
Hey, thanks. You did that. It's so funny. I literally just draw the copy of the dead card in my dead, the 1 dead pile card.
Let's do it again.
Yeah. I hate this game sometimes. I'm always the one top decking too. Like I said, I play the houses without drawing.
Let's pay 2 for the Golden Road. Exhaust it and gain a gold. These over here. How many shroot bucks is that worth? Let's put
Jamie bucks.
Let's put a Valerian Steel Dagger here.
Oh,
plus 2 strength and stealth during intrigue challenges.
Finally, you can win an intrigue challenge.
Yeah. Then I will pass.
Okay. I'm going to start with this Gates of Winterfell. I'm going to see if I get any goods. I've got 1 gold. Surely they have some cool stuff, right?
Usually Gates of Winterfell is in a deck where you don't have any neutrals, and then it's amazing because it's draw a card every time. I remember that back in first edition. That would be the designers of the game. Put these gems together.
Can I just show you what I drew?
Ooh, delicious.
A dead character at King's Road, and I got a Rose Road coming.
Chef's kiss.
I've lost the game.
Chef's kiss.
There's no way I have turns of doing nothing. Anyway, that's what turns is basically just always talking about it. And just angst, constant angst.
At least we're not in the finals with this pile. Can you imagine going all tournament and then you just get dunked on?
Yes, I have. I mean, it happened to all of us, I think. Oh, I didn't draw any economy in my first 2 hands. Guess I'm not winning this one. All right, well, who's laughing now? You fool. Intrigue challenge.
Unopposed.
I don't know if I want it. Hold on.
Wait, he's not blocking it?
Yeah, I can remove her and stand her.
Yeah, you can do that.
I don't think I need that strength in the military. Sure, I'll take an unopposed challenge there.
Get you one. You had ambush.
Oh, a burned mint. Oh, that's good.
Could have played him, I guess.
Wait, what is that?
I should have reacted to the game too. You intrigued, right?
Oh, you missed it. And Windows closed.
Classic Thrones.
After new challenge is initiated?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm really glad I pulled the ambush guy. You don't have more of them, right?
No, not at all.
I definitely don't have that. I hate that they have both of these effects on the same Grey Wind. It's like, give me something good to do. One or the other.
He's a really good card.
Great card. But I want to eat that merchant, and then I want to attack you.
Yeah.
Which I suppose I can still do. I want that intimidate is what I'm most excited about.
Eating merchant's pretty good.
Yeah. He's +2?
During intrigue.
Only during intrigue, okay. Okay, I mean, yeah. Okay. Let's see if you let's eat that guy. Chomp. Then let's swing for 3 military. Give you a choice. Take me to the police.
You get 2 militaries?
Nope.
Okay. Block here?
Not this time. All right.
Claim here.
Duck.
Goose?
6 on the power.
Unopposed.
1 for unopposed. 1 off your house. 1 for now. Over to you.
All right. Intrigue, stealthing OSHA.
Let's trigger Eddard to stand.
You got it.
Pass.
Unopposed. Insight. Claim. This one.
Not my King's Road.
Intrigue.
You could do that forever?
Castly Rot.
Oh my gosh, that costs 2. Yeah, you did it.
Unopposed. Unwound asking, will the middleware CCG blog post be put up soon?
Didn't you owe the community something?
Do I? What are they referring to?
I don't know. Ask Unwound.
If you say what it is, then it might happen. Otherwise, I don't know what you're talking
You're supposed to do the solo mode or something?
Oh, I did the video. I didn't ever post a blog. I have that like 90% written. I should do that.
All right. Seen as a 4-letter word?
Power stealth Eddard.
You did it.
Unopposed, take 1. Dominance. I forgot to draw. No, I did draw. Did I draw? Yeah, I drew. We're good.
Do you have less than 20 cards? If you have less than 20, you probably forgot to draw.
I have 4, which is not. You get dominance?
Yeah. I get it. That's right. Slowly winning while I'm losing the resource game.
What could go wrong?
That's kind of the Starks in a nutshell, isn't it?
That's right.
But I don't get to draw anything either. It's crazy. They didn't give them any draw cards either in this. Like, not even counting coppers or anything?
Yeah.
Search your deck for a direwolf card, reveal it, and add it to your hand. If it's 3 or lower, put it into play. Yeah, I'm going to have to look. Oh, wait. I already looked. Know the top card, so. It's not.
That seems good. All right.
Sure.
Ready?
Winds of Winter.
A Game of Thrones. A player cannot initiate military or power challenges while he or she has not won an intrigue challenge.
That's so good against Winds of Winter. 2 claim, I can't do anything with it. Not a thing, man.
Oh,
freaking
you have
thing.
initiative. Who's first?
I guess I'll go first. Doesn't matter.
It's so good.
Over this game. Oh my gosh. I hate it like an ex-girlfriend.
Oh man, I love it. Right now I do.
It's just like, oh yeah, I remember why
Who
we
did you say
broke up.
first?
Me,
Okay.
Steven. Draw 2. Here we go.
I remember why we broke up. It's so funny.
All right. So I'm not going to turn your little...
Yeah, I'm on. I'll post that. We'll get that up in the next week or so.
Arya Stark coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What is that worth? How much do I get? I get 4 gold. And she's not bannered. So 1, and I have 1 gold.
Yeah, she's not Targaryen. I'll
Nope.
tell you that much.
Nope.
Mine?
Mm-hmm.
Cards in hand?
Yes.
How many?
3. No, that's my plots. 1. If you're an astute player, you know it's a Rose Road. Denied you 2 gold for that Rose Road.
8. I'm just counting my gold here. Counting my coppas. Hear that? That's twice the money you had. Why not?
Are you looking through your deck right now?
No, it's my hand.
Oh, okay.
Let's play a Western fiefdom, then we'll kneel it, and we'll play Jaime Lannister for 5. Jaime Lannister does not kneel when declared as an attacker in a military challenge and gains renown while participating in a military challenge. Okay, challenges. Don't you forget, you can't do anything.
Oh, it's a challenges action.
Oh.
You can do it now.
All right, we did it.
I can't do anything.
Silver, are you guys still in the Keyforge? We are. I just get excited about a month before a set comes out. I get my new stuff. We play it. We'll probably play it on stream when the new set comes out. Hasn't been a new set in a long time. So not exactly a reason to feature it yet.
Okay. Entry challenge for 5. You heard it here first.
It's not ridiculous at all. For 5?
Yeah. Arya's bringing the heat.
I don't want you to win this challenge.
You cannot let me win the challenge.
Yeah. Much matter because you have a lot of heat in the kitchen. Let's block for 7. No, let's block for 5. Let's block for 5. You get the first action.
Should I remove Asha right now?
Does the tie go to the attacker, right?
Yeah.
You're currently winning.
Yeah.
So I assume you just hang out.
Yeah, so okay, good dear.
Yeah. I'm going to ambush in Widow's Wail, plus 2 strength.
All right, remove Asha and standard.
Yeah.
Okay. And pass.
All right. Intrigue, Stealthy Nasha.
Yeah, unopposed.
Unopposed. Discard
gotta
the
go
card.
Rose Road.
And draw.
Can you imagine if you had this out too?
I'd draw a card every time I win an intrigue. Mm-hmm.
What were they thinking?
I sure can.
This is insane, Zach.
Yeah. Then we'll go ahead and go intrigue challenge here for 2.
Block it.
I win the challenge.
Yep.
No cards. Yeah. Power challenge will stealth headed.
Unopposed.
Gain 2.
Mm-hmm.
Dominance. I've got 6. You get more.
Yeah. Mage Knight. Wait, hold on. I've got to do this thing at the end of this thing. At the end of the phase, I'm going to do this challenges action.
Pat, just wondering if I get a quick review of Mage Knight. I'm debating on purchasing it. It's a fun little old game with a lot of quirk. If you like the models.
Oh. Take 1 unopposed away. Because the Winterfell Steward was back here, not blocking like he should have been when you stealth entered.
I think it's fine to buy. We did a stream on it if you want to watch us play it. It was fun.
But the mini is not the board game, right? That's really the make sure.
Yeah,
that's
the old school miniatures game. I had a good time with it. I wouldn't spend a ton of money on it, but if you can find some for relatively good price, I think it's a fun little game.
This is Winds of Winter, Jonathan. Jonathan Benton, what's up, Jonathan? You're an old school Thrones player.
That's right.
This is yeah, Fear of Winter would be great. This is Winds of Winter. It's just a 3/4/2, no text. Can Arya, does she moribund herself with her own reaction? After start character is killed, you sacrifice her.
Didn't they get rid of moribund?
I hope so.
I think
yeah.
they specifically that was
right.
one of the things they were aiming to get rid of. So I don't think she can do that to herself, basically.
And let's say I wildfire assault.
Mm-hmm.
If I choose these 3 and then kill these 3, and can I resolve this one dying to sacrifice Arya to do the ability, and then resolve this one dying?
I have no idea.
It's the kind of thing that Thrones would probably allow.
I'm just gonna pick a plot. We'll see.
It's a reaction. Why is this here?
Toast says not if it's a reaction. Too small for me to read and I don't have it memorized.
Yeah, it's a reaction. So I don't understand why I would be playing these cards. How many power do you have? 10?
Yeah.
More on the way?
You're at 11.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a Valor right now? It would be so good for me.
Yeah, devastating.
I don't have it.
Yeah. I don't have it. We're not done yet. Let me, I gotta look through my, to see what my dire wolves are.
You're good. I'm just hanging out.
Oh, here's all the great characters down here.
In the bottom of your deck?
Yes, of course. Okay. Time for wolves. You remember at the gates? Man, that plot was everywhere. 1, 2. Okay. Okay. Wolves of the North. That's not quite going to do it. Oh, that might be worth playing, though. You like just hearing me regale myself with bad options. Reveal it and add it to your hand. Okay, and then I can play it. Ooh. My options are a dead character. Something I can't play immediately.
Cool.
A Nymeria, which is the intimidator. Yeah, I mean that seems good right now. Jaime's going to be a bit of an issue, but
yeah, 7th strength military that doesn't kneel.
We'll be okay.
I don't know why.
Okay. I'm ready.
What do you got?
At the wolves. A time for wolves.
I'm summons. Who's going first? What's your say?
I'm going first. I've got a 1.
What's it say?
It says search your deck for a direwolf card, reveal it. If it's 3 or lower cost, you can put it into play instead. I'm going to put Nymeria into play onto Eddard.
I get to search the top 10 for a character and put it in my hands.
So Nymeria gives a character Intimidate, and then I can pay a gold to move it once per phase. So I can pass that Intimidate around. And then draw 2 cards. Events. Looking for events here.
Wow. I'll put Cersei Lannister in my hands. She doesn't kneel for intrigue challenges, and after a card is discarded from your opponent's hand, she gains a power. Why were these guys good in the first? I don't get it. How do people win? You get cards and money and power, and you deny your opponent the same.
Wow. This is not good enough. Okay. 3.
Hits just keep on coming.
I don't have anyone who's loyal to me. None.
That is the world of being a start.
Complete waste of time. 4. We get 5. I need 6. I got the marshalling steward. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Here comes Jory Cassell. And we're officially on row number 2 of characters.
We've made it.
And then I'll pay 2 for another Gates of Winterfell, which is actually another one. I shouldn't stack them because it matters in Thrones.
Nice.
Okay. The end. Over to you, Kent. Oh, Mechalwaddle, that's great. Yeah, Kaizen. Really important. Especially important in Thrones.
Card's name?
Constant improvement. Just lose.
One card.
1. I keep 1 to turn your gold off.
Yeah, get a gold. It's reduced by 1, reduced by 2.
I hate it. I'm a value person. I'm like a...
Let's get a 5-cost Cersei.
I'm a gold in, gold out kind of guy, and just seeing you with this much money in cards is driving me insane.
I should.
I just gotta hope you don't draw enough good cards. Pretty good idea, right? Glad to have you here, Michael.
Let's go ahead and play a Cersei's Attendant.
How about this board state, though? Can we just...
All right.
Can we appreciate this?
Challenges.
What is happening?
Playing Thrones,
Man. I don't know. If I'd have just randomly turned back to this game having never played it before, I think I would have hated it. Maybe I would have loved it. I don't know.
I feel like the way the turn structure is makes the complexity not as awful. Like it's actually a pretty simple game.
Yeah.
There's a few things you have to remember, but like it's, I don't know, not that heavy. Prepare to die. So you need 4 power.
Where's Bran?
He's broken.
Bran the Broken? 4 power. Well, that should be easy. Should have no trouble there. No trouble at all.
None. None whatsoever.
Okay. So, power challenge is an important challenge. I can currently roll in with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You can block with 12. Here's your problem. You wouldn't block all that.
Someone pointed out correctly that Gates of Winterfell is unique.
Where do they put the icon on that? Oh, it's that little cross. I guess you can't. I mean, one would assume a castle could have multiple gates,
Yeah,
right? I mean, do they really don't,
one the Gates of Winterfell.
they don't have a back door or a side door or anything?
I don't know why that's so funny to me.
Do you think that hold the door thing that Northern Lights is talking about, that's not really what... Do you think that was just kind of put in there? Because that's stretching it for me. That the entire character is all about this weird, like, hold the door thing, right?
I think the best part is we'll
Am I
never
crazy?
know because the books aren't going to finish, so it's fine.
Yeah. If you sacrifice something and you save it, does the ability stop?
Welcome to Thrones.
I
have
think
no
it
idea.
does. I think a sacrifice has to actually get the thing off the board. You can't sacrifice, save, and then have the ability to trigger, I think.
Because you're not paying the cost.
Yeah, something like that. You know, the good news here is that any military challenges are removing something of some kind of value. You don't have any weenies out.
Don't forget her.
What did we used to call them?
Weenies?
Things that were just going to die? Claim fodder? Something like that. I can't even eat something with Grey Wind. It's a disaster.
What's his trigger?
1 strength. 2 strength or lower if it's Rob. That would be a great Pycelle snack.
Yeah. Nom nom. Chuds.
Chuds, thank you. That's right.
Trey had that
Trey's
one.
got us. All right. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
5309.
All right, let's start here. Let's do a military challenge. 9 strength. Asha could potentially jump out. It does have intimidate, so watch yourself. I'll play out my best turn, you know? I think what Cersei's getting 2 power just from the, oh wait, not if I don't have any cards. I wonder if there's any start cards that would change the game for me.
All right. I'm going to use this challenge action to gain a buck. Why not? Then I'm going to play Hear Me Roar. Put a Lannister character into play from your hand. At the end of the phase, with that character still in play, discard it. Cannot be saved. Don't mind me. I'll just play this Rafe the Sweetling. Or 1. Rafe, pillage. Reaction. After you discard the character, you can pillage, choose a character. It doesn't matter. He's not going to do that. He's a 4 strength. So what do you got?
I'm at 7, 8, 9. Why is 5 afraid of 6?
Let's block with 11.
All right. Asha's going to stand. You did it. No intimidate for me. All right. Now, is there any card in my deck that I could draw right now that would change the game? You're going to get 2 for unopposed. Well, stealth with Tyrion. Nobody else has stealth, right?
He has stealth during intrigue.
Okay, so you stealth Asha with Cersei. So that's 2 power. You stealth with Tyrion and Cersei. That's 2 more power. You're at 4. Then you're 1 power away.
So you have 2 icons out, right? So I'd have to stealth both to get unopposed. So if I stealth 1 and go with Cersei, you block. Then I stealth the second one, get an unopposed. But I need one of those stealths to win a power challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, this is all true. So then we do Eddard plus Jory for an 8 strength power challenge. So you'd have to drop all 3 to lose, or to not lose.
What do you got?
8.
11, 12, 13, 14. If I give it to you unopposed.
Much so. And I've still got intrigue heat.
Unopposed.
Should I try this? I have no idea. If I don't,
well, it's bad because
because then if I have a card, but if it's an event I could play, I've got 2 gold here.
Oh, renown on Jamie. Don't mind me.
I'm just gonna look at it. I mean, you're winning, right? You're winning 1,000 ways, so I should just take a look. If I don't need it and I don't want it, and you go to 14 power.
Do you have to show it?
Yeah.
What is it?
Not important.
What is it?
It's these Wolves of the North. They're awesome.
Okay, great. They're going to be awesome in your discard pile.
Yeah. Isn't there like a...
You could wait to draw until after Cersei swings.
I just don't know. If I had like a something that when I win a challenge, I could wreck you, get an extra power even. It would be good. Okay, so power challenge is coming in. It's unopposed. So 1 for unopposed.
1 off my house.
1 off your house.
Yep.
1 for renown. Okay. Now we've got something interesting here, don't we? Do I stay put? I think I stay put.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mine?
Yeah. Hold.
All right. We're going to go Cersei and Pycelle, and I'm going to stealth. Arya?
Arya is stealthed. Block.
Okay. Turn winner. I win.
Up on Edward.
Yeah.
Eddard. Duck. Reactions currently.
Yep. Nothing yet. Should have happened. Claim. Here. Then Cersei's ability, gain of power. Then insight. Draw a card. Okay. Then I will do an intrigue with Cersei at 6.
So either way, it's an unopposed power, one direction or not. Yeah, so I guess I may as well just do it now. You stealth Eddard, or you stealth Eddard, and then I block that with Arya, but that also doesn't matter. Same idea. Second burst, same as the first. Oh, sure. Just block there. You probably have unopposed intrigue stuff, right?
Nope. Just discard a card. I'll get
So
a
the copy of
power.
Asha.
I'll also technically react with a Tears of Bliss.
Is that too?
Spend 1. I put a poison counter on Eddard.
Okay.
So he's gonna dive.
Yeah.
Then power challenge. I'll go Tyrion and we'll stealth Eddard.
You got it.
1 off your house, 1 for unopposed. And then military of 2. Oh wait, no. Then you just win. I need 1, and I think I have my head on dominance, so I'll pass.
Oh, you're
14.
totally right. I forgot intimidate here, but you did too, so it doesn't much matter. Which would have knelt Cersei probably, which is totally right, Laban.
What kind of challenge were you doing?
Power.
I would have to block with something.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Pass.
I
have 11, 12, 14 for dominance.
Wait, what does the poison thing say?
Oh, yeah. At the end of the phase, Eddard dies.
Zach, I have an interrupt. When a unique star character would be killed, sacrifice Dory to save it. If there's a winner plot card revealed, that character gains 1 power.
No! So if I don't play Tears, I win. That's funny. Like I said, it's easy to accidentally lose in Thrones.
So easy. The Starks winning like only they know how.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Somehow.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny. As much as I was just top decking the whole game,
it was still close.
It was still close, and that in itself is kind of weird. Isn't that weird? How could you come close to winning with literally seeing probably a third of the cards that you saw?
I mean, I think that was at least conceptually the argument they were making when they were designing, and why Lannister wasn't just strictly better is like, while I have more card options, your cards are more powerful.
You think they literally just made the Lannister cards not as good?
Yeah, and so you see more of them, but the problem is there's a game state where it doesn't matter how many you've seen, they're just controlling you.
Yeah, they get the vice grips in.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hey, you want to go top down or top camera real quick before we get out of here?
You mean the main one?
The main cam.
Hey everybody, that was fun. Man, it's like an old.
Oh, you know what? You didn't remove a power when I won my power challenge against you.
Oh yeah.
So then I technically still get it, but you were almost there.
I would have intimidated Cersei. I would have won in a heartbeat.
I would have allowed it. I had to block with something. And then I Tears Eddard off. No, you don't lose Eddard still. You have that thing. But I don't know what happened.
But then you're down 2 power from Cersei because she's knelt.
Yeah. Well.
I want to see what kind of cards are in here that would have mattered.
That was fun to revisit.
It is fun, yeah.
You remember. There's a lot of memories with this game that I'm fond of. A lot of great friends, a lot of great community for this game.
That's what I was looking for. Winter is coming. See, if you draw that, you get that power challenge of 2 power, and that's over. It's game over.
Oh yeah, you just raised the claim.
What else? Isn't there a weird like rain
I had no idea how close I was to losing.
acid rain or something?
Acid rain?
It's rain of hate. Like warm rain. After you lose an intrigue challenge, the defending player kneel a dire wolf to choose and kill an attacking character.
Wow.
That's a 5 of.
You just like destroy Cersei when she goes to swing at you. That's really nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
Northern Lights saying, "Well, this was a blast." Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, great. Thanks for joining, everybody.
I think this game.
We're not good, so I hope you weren't here for that.
I think this game is actually where I'm at now in my life. I feel like if I just approach this game from a like entertainment value, it's very funny how miserable it can be, and you can make it for your opponent. It feels very much like Thrones.
So that you're saying it's not miserably unentertaining?
So I'm saying like if I had 2 or 3 people I was playing this with, and we were just getting together to play melees occasionally, and like have a beer, it's like this is a hilarious time.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Melee is an absolute disaster of a fun
But
time.
if everyone goes in knowing that, it's funny and fun.
It is fun.
And so I think there's a massive card pool out there for people that like the IP still.
That thought hit you like a poison dart, man. Zing! Still. May it never be mentioned.
Yeah. I mean, I still like the books. I'm also... The thing about it is, like, before, at least, it was like, well, at least we have the books if the show goes bad. But, like, now I don't even know if the books are going to finish, so I'm just giving up on it all.
Yeah, it's a real shame, you know? It's kind of funny, though.
It's still a great IP, and the houses and the art in this game. So, like, I think it's super fun. It holds up. Yeah. It's a good time.
You could, honestly, if you... I'm surprised they didn't do a little bit more on the tweaking side of things. But I think you could... I think the challenge mechanic is really great. It's really great, particularly if you could trim it down a little bit where the math and the text is a little less overbearing. And then I think the plot mechanic is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's absolutely phenomenal. So I could see a game, right? Like that's a mechanic that games really need to visit more. Like,
it's a cool idea, right? You have the multiple stats, both players revealing simultaneously, and then it kind of informs your round.
Like you could have that mechanic represented in 1,000 different ways. It's like this card that you flip tells you how many cards you draw that turn, how many resources you get, like dozen thrones. The initiative, of course, like a dozen thrones. You could add in weird stuff like how many cards you can play that turn, like, you know, all sorts of weird things that a game can literally build its own. Every turn is different engine based on these cards if you wanted to lean in that really hard.
I mean, I think the plot and the challenge icons are the 2 hallmarks of this game, in my opinion. Like the plot phase and then the triple layer challenge that both players get to do in offense or defense and going first or second. And that's where, like, you look at a lot of these cards and characters and stuff, and it's like, I think there's a lot of unnecessary complication.
Yeah.
Even on the characters. Like, I would much rather every character do something when they interplay. Done.
Yeah, that would be cool.
It's like, here's my stats.
Or they have one keyword.
Yeah.
Something simple.
And, you know, a lot of them do. Like, Tyrion's almost that. He has the ridiculous reaction. But, like, Pycelle, Grandmaster Pycelle is literally just stats and an insight.
Yeah, and that feels great. Like, I like that a lot.
I saw that, and it reminded me... I think that's ultimately why I really love... One of the many reasons, honestly, the Middle-earth CCG, is so many of the characters they don't even have text. It's just their traits and the stat, and then cards play off of the traits, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a small council event and a Maester event. And because of that, it's like the game itself obviously is complex.
Yeah, that's one of the things I love so much about Arena Rex is that every character is basically there with one... You have one complete idea of what this character represents. And it's generally like, that character, you know, is intimidating all of the things around it. That's the one ability that that character has. And so I feel like if these characters like Balin and
they had their one thing.
They had just one, and it doesn't even have to be fancy. And I think a lot of them are actually well designed in terms of simplicity, because like they might have one thing going on, but when you stack up 17 different one things on the board, that also creates an issue. So it kind of needs to be trimmed in both directions. But then, like every game that you try to kind of make more modern, do you lose so much of the soul that made it interesting and chunky and worth biting into to begin with?
Yeah.
That's a classic question. You know?
Where that line is, I think that's what was most interesting about the second edition is like, I think they identified a lot of the problems they wanted to solve. But what was the other game they did this with? L5R.
Yeah.
Which is they identified things they wanted to tweak or change. And then the issue is like, they just weren't willing to really go for it.
And it didn't make it better.
And so
Just
like
made it
it just
complex
got
in a different way.
different.
Yeah.
And so I think 2.0 is 90% the same game. And the things they were trying to fix, they kind of walked back into.
Yeah, because it still feels the same. The bad parts still feel as bad, right? Like the randomly drawing, top decking, and getting 2 econ locations that you didn't see in your setup. That to me would be the number one thing I'd try to solve in Thrones.
The inequality of economy like that, and just it reminds me of the mana screw in Magic, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's just built in where you have to have them in your deck, and then if you don't draw them early and you do draw them late, it's the worst. If you don't draw them early and don't draw them at all, it's medianly bad.
Yeah.
Or if you draw them early, but all you draw is that. Like there's a lot of ways for that to just fall on itself.
Yeah.
And it made Thrones feel like a quarter of the games I had a bad draw, a quarter of the games they had a bad draw, and half the time it was a good game.
It was incredible. And when it was good, it was incredibly tight. It was really good. Here's the thing though. Like it actually, you think about this kind of stuff, really appreciating it as a throwback. It doesn't make any sense to build a game that has the most incredible plot mechanic that determines the gold for the turn, and you use that as a lever, and then give players ways to make that number not matter.
Yeah.
Right? Because at a certain point, you're at +8 gold, or you're at +4
and it
gold.
doesn't matter anymore.
And the gold on your plot is like, whatever. But if you let's say you cut every location that is economy.
Cut all the economy.
All of them are just creating interesting board states or whatever, and you raise the gold on the plots a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, then you have a choice. Do I really want to drop a 3 gold plot and play 1 card for that 2 or 3 claim? Like, oh, that's a cool decision.
I think that's what I'm talking about. Where it's like there was so much built into what the first edition was that like they were unwilling to make big changes.
Yeah.
Like, and I get it. Like ideally, if you can make small tweaks and fix whatever problems, that's the dream maybe. But like I think that alone it'd be the same game. It's just totally changing deck, but like fixing core problems, right?
That's what was fixed?
Yeah. I mean, I think they gave themselves more granularity with the gold costs.
Yeah.
I think making most events cost gold means that you're having to choose what you're investing in, and also you can't just like pile on a bunch of events.
Yeah.
Because there'd be some times where it's like I have 4 events I can play, and it's just crazy. But when you look across and you see I have 2 gold, there's a restriction there. So I think that's nice. I think they cleaned up some of the complexity that was happening, and that's probably it.
Yeah, but to me, the biggest issue wasn't changed, which was just simply the econ thing.
I think other things they helped were they went to 8 factions, and then they made it where you could splash without the gold penalty. That was helpful just in terms of making the card pool feel wider.
Yeah.
Because in the first edition, it was like very rare, very specific. I'm going to play this character, and it's worth 2 extra gold, which was a lot. Because it's broken, not because like it's just cool that I get to mix these 2 houses, kind of a thing.
Yeah, no moribund is a good change from Scott.
And I think the structure of the turn and whatnot got cleaner. The templating on the cards was better. But I think it's just for Matt. Do you think I don't know that they thought the thing we're identifying right now is a problem.
Yeah, maybe that was just the name of the game. Because then it was like, well, the balance of your econ in your deck is kind of the push and pull mechanic of the risk that you're willing to take as having a bad setup.
Yeah.
But it's doubly bad because you essentially kind of have 2 first hands. If you whiff in the setup and then whiff on your drawback, it's just like setup. For instance, if you wanted to keep the game the same, setup. Choose any 2 cards and then randomly draw the rest, or just choose your 7 cards to set up, right?
I mean, it's going to Ash's first 5, right?
You could do it however you wanted, yeah.
And I think those are 2 things that I wonder if they explored, and also would be interested if they did, is like, you cut all econ cards, and you make plots have more gold, generically. And then 2 is test it where people get to pick their not even their starting hand, but their starting setup.
Yeah.
Shuffle, draw 7 after that, but it's like, here's my 8 gold worth of stuff in play.
Because that would be the combo player's dream and Steven's nightmare.
But in Thrones, things should die. So a combo should never be so good that like it's just unwinnable. But if both players, it's just like Ashes though. If both players can knowingly put stuff in play, it's almost like when Long Voyage was out. That's why Long Voyage was a problem early on. Is like, oh, what it really becomes is everyone's playing this and everyone's drawing 3 cards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's the new thing that's happening, which in effect made every other agenda not playable for a time. Yeah, like that's just what it was.
It was tough, just because card draw is so good in Thrones, particularly.
I mean, 50% more cards is. Yeah,
and it's only the setup is almost built for it. It's kind of aggravating because like you could literally just start with 7 face down cards and then 3, 2, 1, and then everybody just flips them up and it's like, oh, whoa, it's an exciting moment, and you get to. It's kind of like you're thrown into the middle of Game of Thrones universe. It's like, oh, I'm at Winterfell and there's wolves everywhere.
And you can imagine, kind of like in Ashes, it's like you see I'm playing Lannister and my agenda, and it's like, all right, what's your starting 7, 8
Yeah,
gold?
well, I need a frozen solid because he's probably going to drop one of those gold locations.
Well, that wouldn't be in your opening hand.
Yeah, that's true.
But you could put like Winterfell in or like the locations that change how you play. So I think both of those are interesting. But ultimately, I think the game's fine. But if I'm looking at it when they were rebooting, I think it was basically like we have to either invest in this, kind of like with Netrunner, revised core. It's like we either have to invest in this to get more people in, or we have to let it go. And so I think that they got a lot of new players in. It was actually achieved, and the game was better. But then they punted a lot of things to basically lose all that momentum.
Yeah, just on the not necessarily development, but just the model itself and the way that it got delayed and
publishing and balance, etc.
Yeah. And the fact that the deluxes are literally faction dedicated, and you need to release 8 of them before the game's going to be balanced across all the factions. Like that's a crazy place to even start. That's a weird one. I don't understand why you would have such a faction heavy deluxe expansion. It makes no sense to me. Yeah, Jason, I mean, that's the thing. So like saying the starting team is bad because the design gets very difficult. I mean, what that is ultimately saying though is that we've designed a game that sometimes, given the right combination of cards, is going to be way too skewed one direction. And so if you're making the conceit that like if players can choose the cards they start with, the game's going to get busted, then you need to design better.
Yeah, because ultimately
it will happen randomly sometimes.
It's the same argument for when like in Conquest, they were balancing cards by making it limit 1 per deck.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, well, just because I only see it sometimes that just means it's a bad design card.
Yeah.
Thematically, if that's why you were doing it, I could get that. But the recognition that like it just means that if you hit it, and your opponent doesn't, you're you're limit 1.
Win.
You're way ahead. If they hit it and you don't, you're way behind. If you both hit it, it's a great game. If neither of you hit it, it's a great game. Same thing here with the economy stuff, which is if you have a good setup and your opponent doesn't, it's probably going to go in your favor 80% of the time.
Yeah.
If both of you have bad setups, it's going to be a good game. If both of you have great setups, it's going to be a good game. And so you end up in these scenarios where 30 to 40% of the time you have a weird game. And sometimes you can come back from that and it's glorious when you do.
It is glorious.
But if
clawback.
Randomly I have a setup that's just really good. Like
you
if
know,
you don't
the
have
7 card drop
in that game, by the way.
Yeah. That game's
it's over.
Long gone. I remember it was in like a top 8 or something, and I had a 2-card setup and I mulliganed, and I think I drew like 6 events and like a 5-cost dude. So I had a 1-card setup and they had a 7-card setup.
And they probably marched you to the wall.
And it was over. I mean, at that point we literally were just like ha ha ha. But it's like, yeah, you're out of the top 8.
So that's possible.
That shouldn't, I think, modern theory about like game design, even just from players like we are, not even like, I'm not talking about like theoretical like Richard Garfield combinatorial stuff. I'm just saying that should never be the possibility of an outcome before the game is even started. You shouldn't even allow for that. So whatever system you have to design that does not let that happen is the one that you should be designing.
Yep. All right, you ready to call this thing?
I'm ready.
Thanks been fun. Josh, again, if you're out there, thank you for lending us the Stark and Lannister decks. To everyone who is a part of the Thrones community here locally and regionally, all the people we hang out with.
Such good memories.
If you're here, it was good to see your name. A lot of good friends in that community. So if you like Thrones and you want to check it out, the starter decks are widely available and not very expensive. So it's a great way to do it.
And Melee is super fun. And I saw Sao Paulo, I think, got all of the intro decks. There's what, 8 of them?
Yep.
And then get some friends together, plays Melee every now and again, has a great time.
Yeah,
so like you don't have to do
for that.
Yeah, that would be a great way to do it. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time. It's been a pleasure.